We are back live. So we did no promotion of the show tonight because we've been here a while.
What? Are we
Are
live?
you watching?
Are we live?
You're watching that way. I'm gonna watch. Actually, you know what? We're both watching the same way because I got it over here. I'm watching.
No,
here.
I was just looking at the sky.
Okay. Right now, if anyone, the one person that's watching, Candler Bag Quinn Reeves is up 6-3 on Ethan Farias and Julius Reyes Jr.
Who?
Exactly. We got two normal players, no pros in the final in Vegas.
Listen, these two young gentlemen have been on a tear all
Yes.
day today.
Yes. Is that you or me that's popping up there?
Oh, that was me. I was sending messages to friends about what's going to happen this upcoming weekend. What?
Oh, okay.
What special sauce is coming?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Because Doug, you know what happens down south.
Yeah, you have this. I need more. That's wrong there.
You gotta text the right. Listen, Doug, if there's anything I do, I make the right friends.
You do.
And you gotta send messages to those friends to make sure when you get down there that it's gonna be taken care of.
No comment for that.
What's that? That was a sexy koozie, Doug. Where'd you get that?
I was kind of waiting for it. The thing is, I now remember that I forgot to give you one.
Yeah, you did. You gave them to everybody but me.
Actually, yeah, I do. I was looking in the bag tonight. Shit, I'm tied up on my chair here.
Well, Doug,
I feel like you know what? I feel like another Coombs here, and I'm digging into the tickle trunk.
That was creepy. What is the tickle?
You don't know that. You don't know anything about the tickle trunk and Cousin Ernie.
That sounds really creepy.
The Canadian people will know.
Yeah. But that makes Canadians.
I have one left. I have a personal one left.
So, Doug,
along with the coffee, I still got the coffee one.
Here's what I'm gonna do, Doug.
In the chat, folks, if you know what I'm talking about with the tickle trunk.
We've talked about this in the past, but it was like a year and a half ago. So listen, I have a squirrel brain. But the first, Doug, here's what I'm going to do. I have a few of my koozies still left.
Okay.
What do you call them? Do you call them koozies in Canada?
Yeah.
What do you call them? Like can huggers or what do you?
I call them koozies. I don't know.
But all right, first 3 people at Bag and Bash after the first bag flies. First bag has to fly. First 3 people to come and find me will get a free koozie.
Do you know what else I noticed in the tickle trunk here? I was going to keep calling it that because I know it's is you got to give a shout out to the other people that do this as well. I got it at Worlds last year. King Seed Podcast one as well.
Oh, some of my bestest friends in the whole world. Love those guys.
Mr. Brian Betancourt. Although he got to hang out with the SWAT guys.
Yeah, he really wasn't invited.
Well, I think he probably was.
No. His boss was invited. And he got to tag along.
But that's what we all do in this business.
Listen,
we got 3 viewers. No one's making a comment. No one does anyone not old enough to know what the tickle trunk is in Canada?
My favorite Girl Scout cookie was the tag along. All right. So I will ride any train, the proper train. Get your mind out of the gutters, kids. I will ride that train to go and hang out with anybody because you know what? It is a cornhole community.
Oh, for sure. So you are headed down to Bag and Bash this upcoming weekend. Another big monumental weekend in cornhole as well. Russ knows. Candy's in the chat there, but yeah, Bag and Bash is not the only huge thing to be going on in cornhole next weekend. Not.
What?
It's not.
Are you simple?
No, sometimes probably. It is the 13th anniversary of when I started playing cornhole.
Well, that is pretty simple.
I mean, even for this, I get wearing a t-shirt, Redneck. I started playing cornhole on Redneck Hill. Is not a better place to figure out how to play cornhole?
So, Doug, I think
Yes.
one of the first people you ever met in cornhole is doing a tournament at his house, and Heath.
Okay, yeah.
Jenkins, who is one of the first people you met in the world of cornhole. He's doing a tournament on the 25th.
Well, yeah, he's one of the people I've met, yes.
Well, no, but one of the many people. There's many.
Yeah,
but
many.
I
wear his gear on the show many times.
You do. He is doing a tournament at his house on the 25th because he posted that he's doing this like huge tournament at his house, like pool party. I'm like, excuse me, where's my invite?
Do you know what the best thing? Whenever I see Heath doing something on Facebook, the best thing is he talks about barbecue first.
Dude, listen, his first picture is like a big old barrel grill with wings on it.
Yeah.
So the first ever Bag and Bash. First ever. I did it. Oh, no, second. I'm sorry. Second ever Bag and Bash. First one I did by myself. Second one I did with my brother.
Mm-hmm.
It was my birthday. It was my 49th birthday because I think it was a couple years ago. And Heath is like, come on down to the house. We'll have some people over. We'll play some cornhole. We'll barbecue. We'll do everything. Dude, me and my brother got to his house at about 4:00 in the afternoon. We had stopped and bought a handle of Fireball. Okay. That thing is like this big, Doug, right? Do you know what the first thing Heath did?
Probably just taking it straight or just put it on the barbecue.
Oh, no. He pulled the cap off, bit the jigger, the little like pour thing, spit it out, and then just started pouring shots for everybody. Just like made it rain with Fireball. And then after that, it was wings. It was like green bean casserole. It was like, from what I remember, because it was a long night, there was maybe 6 or 8 of us there, and it was amazing. Like complete Southern hospitality, amazing food, amazing people, and just hanging out and having a great friggin' time.
Talk about some of the first people I've met in cornhole. I'm going to bring someone on who probably is one of the first people I met at Worlds down in Rock Hill.
Do I like
see how this is going to go? Yeah, I think you know.
What? Do I like him?
One of the OGs of cornhole.
Wait, you said I know him, but do I like him?
I think you like him too, because I like him. I've talked to him a bunch of times, and
we'll see.
Mr. Tito Soto on the show.
We'll see if he likes me or not. I don't know. Put him on the spot.
He looks like he's in a sauna.
I know, right? I don't understand. I don't know what's going on.
Well, you don't have Shaggy with you, right? So
no, I don't have Shaggy with me.
Yeah. Oh, Shaggy can't fix everything.
No, I'm on my own phone at home, hanging out. You talking about grilling? I was grilling today. I made a quesadilla burger that my wife found a recipe on TikTok. So it's a quesadilla with a burger smashed on the quesadilla. You cook it burger side down first, and then you flip it over to the quesadilla side. Add your cheese, whatever you want. So since it was a quesadilla burger, I put my Exterminator hot sauce and Bust You Up hot sauce on there. Cooked it up, cooked hers up, lettuce, tomato. Go on my Facebook. You'll look at it. It's pretty good.
All right. So, Cito,
yes.
Is it on a traditional grill or is it a flat top?
No, my wife bought a flat griller.
Okay.
So I have the deluxe version grill that was made by Next Grill. That was one of the ACL's sponsors back in the day.
Who?
Next grill.
No, I meant the other one.
Oh, ACL.
I think I still have. I don't know, because Donnie, I don't think you were there, but Cito, you'll remember this. 2018 at Worlds, they had Nextgrill had that big thing set up, and they were giving away like those cinch bags.
Yes.
I think I still have about 20 of them down here in the basement someplace.
Yeah, they were great.
I think I grabbed about 40 because anything free I'm going to take.
The grill at the time was probably like a, $400 grill. It had lights on it. It's probably one of the state of the arts at the time grills, which is great. My grill still works great. I bought brand new parts a year ago, and I'll tell you what, it's still completely amazing. The only thing that doesn't work on it right now is the temperature gauge, like how hot it gets, because those always blow up and the oil comes out.
But here's the thing: if you know how to grill,
yes, you don't need it.
You don't. You like temperature. Like I have a Weber that has the little thing that has the magnetic like thermometer thing that you put on the side and you bring the probes inside.
Yes.
And my wife's like, "Do we need it?" I'm like, "I'm not spending $100 to figure out how to grill. I already know how to do it."
Right.
What like if I should not have a grill if I have to buy those parts?
That's true. Right.
I'd have to Cito, I know you're a man of God, but I'd have to kick my own ass if I bought it.
But so normally, technically, on a normal grill, by the time you buy the parts that you have to do to fix it, the burners and the things that hold the burners in place, all that kind of stuff. Normally, you're just better off buying a brand new grill, right? Well, I'll tell you what, these were inexpensive, and I bought the 6-pack, and they went on. They were perfect. I think I only spent maybe $50 to $60 on it, and it was worth it. You know what I mean? Because the grill itself is perfect. There's no rust. There's nothing. I mean, it cleans up nice. It's stainless steel. It does completely work great. It's just those grates get bad, when you use it a lot. So
and that's the thing. I had a grill. I'm not going to say it rhymes with Meber, but I bought it at a discount because Home Depot used to have a store called Expo.
Yes,
they did high-end design, and I found this grill when they were going out of business. It was a $1,500 grill. I got it for $600. So for me, it was worth replacing it was the burners that burned out. Because here's the thing: I'm in the Northeast. You kind of have the same thing, Cito. I mean,
yes.
Doug's in the friggin' Great White North, so I mean, everything just freezes. But like where we are, between the moisture and the heat, like some of that thin tin or other, when they say stainless, it's not maybe stainless. It kind of rots. Like the burners rot out a little bit.
Yes.
So, I replaced them 2 or 3 times, but then the last time I replaced them, like between the grates and the burners, they're like, it's $600. I'm like, that's what I paid for the grill 8 years ago. I'm not doing it again. I'm just going to buy a whole new grill.
Yeah, you're better off just doing that. Like, I think if this ever gets really bad, my next one is going to be a Blackstone regardless. It's going to be a flat top Blackstone with all the gadgets. You know what I mean? The rack and the hood.
I did get the tiny Blackstone, the little tailgate
Tabletop?
one.
Mm-hmm.
The tabletop. I got it in my settlement from my dad. But
all right.
I did watch a video, and one of the biggest things with the Blackstones and some of the flat tops is the corners, because the heat usually doesn't move into the corner. That those rot out the first, right? So what I did, I watched a YouTube video, and I got myself one of those blow torches, because it said if you use the blow torch and kind of heat the corners up, and you can still kind of season the corner.
Yes.
To make it so it doesn't get pitted and start to break down faster.
Well, this little griddle that she bought, I don't have to worry about the corners burning or anything like that because it sits literally right in the middle of my grill, and it heats up as it's just a flat top. So it's probably one of the best inventions that someone's actually with. And you season it the same way, you grill it the same way. You know what I mean? And I don't know how you season yours, but at the end of the day, when you're done cleaning it, I always oil it, let it sit there, and then I'll wipe it down. But the oil still stays on there because once the oil stays on there, then it's going to be nonstick all the time.
Well, I got the blacktop seasoning for it. So I bought the tubbies where you just dump it on there. But you also run a pretty sizable tournament by you where you do some food items.
I was gonna say, are we gonna start talking corn? Because I'm like ready for like supper number 3.
Are you clam bake this year, Mr. Donald McPhee? I don't know.
Is that what you're talking? Is that what I'm talking about?
The Cancer Sucks 2024.
Is that what we're? Let's talk about it.
Let's do it. Like, so that's my biggest fundraiser of the year. As you guys know, maybe some of you guys don't know that I'm a very big advocate of trying to help the community in any way we can. So my wife and I, Mary, we put on this show. It's steak, clam chowder, salad, rolls, butter, the whole 9 yards. It's a 14-ounce New York strip steak or a whole half a chicken with your dinner. You get everything. Cornhole during the day. Sometimes we do Texas Hold'em at night. We have a band. Sometimes we have a single. We got a raffle. My wife puts a lot of stuff together in her baskets.
Wait, a lot of stuff.
What? A lot of stuff.
A lot. Yeah.
We've seen those.
Yeah.
Well,
listen, I've seen some of the stuff Mary puts together. Like it's not a lot of stuff. It's a whole lot of stuff.
My wife is sitting next to me laughing. She thinks it's great. Yes, she loves putting baskets together. She loves that. She loves decorating the whole thing. At the end of the day, I think the most we've ever had in baskets was 125 baskets. I think the least we had was 80. So anywhere between 80 to 125. And we're not talking about a $10 basket, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about these baskets, 90% of them have $100 to $150.
Oh, listen,
at least.
Your baskets make other, and I apologize to all the other tournaments. They make other tournaments' baskets look pale in comparison. I mean, I've seen.
What did you just do, babe? What did you just do?
Listen, I've seen some of the stuff that Mary's put together. I mean, listen, I made Easter baskets for I'm sorry, I'm lying. My wife made Easter baskets for my kids. And the baskets that Mary has made looks like the ones from like Willy Wonka where they want the golden goose. I mean, the friggin' thing is so huge and it's overflowing. They can barely tie the knot at the top to tie off the cellophane.
You know, the one time, Johnny, when you were the old doghouse.
Who?
The doghouse. The voice of the voice, which you are still the voice. But when you put yours in, and this is back in the day, this is like, let's go back to 2019, 2020, right? When you really were getting known and you are known, you know what I mean? Like,
well, we were bigger than that other podcast from Cleveland.
Yes. That ass brother.
But there's still one that's lasted longer than both of you.
Hey, you know what? I would still be online. We're getting back together. I talked to Shaggy. We are getting back together. Cito's Cornhole Corner will be coming back sooner than later, hopefully, once we get everything situated.
Hey, Cito, Cleveland is only 10 hours away. I can make the drive.
I think you can. And I think you should be there. And I think you can honor come. You and Doug should be partners. And
listen,
I will pay for your ticket.
I think I came out once to hang out with you.
You did, and it was fun. It was a good time. But you guys should both come out and play together, and then you guys can play in the cornhole tournament.
I love that.
Well, we'll have to try. I got to try and see because this
Hey, Jeff
ACL stuff up
McGregor-
here.
Jeff McGregor bought pair tickets for someone for me to give. Maybe they could go to you guys.
Who?
Jeff McGregor.
Who's that guy?
He's the announcer.
It's that other guy.
ACL Pro Cornhole guy.
Dude, listen, I love that man. If I ever move down south, there's only two people I will buy a house from. It's either Jeff McCarriger or Branniger's mom.
There you go. Hey, there you go.
She is a sponsor of Bag and Bash this weekend, by the way.
So Fireball is a inhibitor. Did you know that? And it's good for cornhole players to play with. So Fireball, I'm drinking Fireball and I'm playing cornhole. It makes me concentrate a little bit more. It's the cinnamon that's in the Fireball that makes it good.
Listen,
Just so you know.
my first ever Bag and Bash, I maybe had some alcohol that they said, do you like Fireball? I said, most people just call it cinnamon.
Well, do you get the real Fireball or the fake Fireball? If you're going to a gas,
listen, we up in New England, we don't get any of that fake stuff where they had the lawsuit. We don't listen. I buy it by the bucket.
okay.
Wait, hold on. I've got a fridge. Oh yeah, it's that way. I keep forgetting, like because the stupid camera, but my fridge is right there. Hold on.
And I was just kind of I was looking over to my side over here, and I'm looking, and it was like, it's been a while since you've been on the show here, Cito. It's January 1st. Sorry,
Holy cow.
January 10th, 2020 is when you were on the show here last.
Well, Doug, you got to invite me on more.
Well,
Hey, hold on a second, Donnie. Hold on, Donnie.
he's got one that's probably bigger.
Oh, Doug, look who's in the chat. Brendan Ahern,
Yep.
Candy, and Meacham.
Yes.
Hey, we'll do a shot together. I'm gonna do my Average Joe's bottle of Oak and Eden. This is the 4-grain variety. It's actually custom made for Average Joe's Cornhole. I got a few bottles. I'm gonna have some more bottles for sale. But I will do a toast with you, Donnie, if you're gonna do a toast.
All right, here we go.
Do I have to do this one again, Donnie? Because that last one hurt.
Come
I
on.
always do the one before every show, and I'm getting to the bottom of this mason jar, and
All
it's
right.
starting to hurt. The cinnamon
Jen.
is gone.
To all your bags going in the hole. Here we go. Into charity. So, Cito, speaking of... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. Wait. Wait.
Cut him off. No more Fireball.
I might have hit an effect on my board.
I don't have that yet. I'm still working on it.
Listen, I spent a lot of money and my wife hates me.
Oh,
But, well, because, Cito, just so you know, since we've last talked, I bought a lot of recording equipment for podcasting and for live feeds. And my wife is like, when is this thing going to start making money?
oh, yes.
Yeah.
I put in an Amazon order today, and it got denied.
Doug, my
So I
wife...
gotta try and hope they work on the computer when she goes to sleep tonight.
my wife sent me my bill for the year.
Uh-oh. What was it?
Let's see. Just for my blind draws and equipment and travel, just for the first couple of months of the year. What do you guys think? Price is Right rules. Doug, what do you think?
4,500.
What do you think?
I was gonna say like 6.
It was $5,300.
You're close, right in the middle. Right in the middle. You know,
Price is Right rules. You win.
I think if we OGs, you, Doug, even Big Ass, Sean and Dane, they're great. They're amazing. They're doing an awesome job. I think we all collectively should get together one day and hit the big sponsors and try to, come up with the game plan of, having these things once a month and gravitating towards not only cornhole, but life itself. You know what I mean? Because everybody had their own niche. Sean and Dane, they love doing bag reviews. They love doing that kind of stuff. They kind of come up with the good dirt, you know. No, no, not at all. You, Donnie, you love the Spitfire action of cornhole, like getting at Doug is a guy that is like me. We want to know what drives a player. We want to know what the players like outside of the cornhole community. You know what I mean? Because I think as fans, you all got your favorite player, and you always want to watch that favorite player, but you also want to know, does he have the same character outside of cornhole? What is his life like? What is the meaning of it? Is it something that I can gravitate towards? Because again, your story is different than my story, but we're all interlocked by one thing, and it's cornhole, and if we can bring that all together, like I think we should, and like we should have done a long time ago, but we're all in this together. There's so much of it there's so much there's so much content out there for everybody just to have.
Well, Cito, I think we talked about this.
Yes,
Doug was part of this when we did the when we were doing the COVID Zooms.
Yeah.
Where we had talked about doing the cornhole summit.
That would be awesome.
Right? Kind of finding some place that's central, not necessarily like Cleveland or, Toronto or Boston, but someplace that's central in the country where we can bring everybody together. And it's not just us as content creators for cornhole. It was also a lot of the, the bigger companies. And back then there was 10. Today, there's like 250. But
that's the thing.
Bringing everybody together to just, and it was not all playing. It was also different things for people to hang out and have fun. But it was also kind of the mental game and other things for people to start playing better.
I think. Go ahead, Doug.
That's the thing. I think COVID really kind of gave us a real kick down, because before COVID we had the guys on the West Coast, the brews and reviews guys, right?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, I was waiting for that. But we had those guys doing their thing, and we had more people, and then kind of a bunch dropped off after during COVID and that there, and it really kind of for as much as it helped cornhole, it kind of took out a couple of our people that were making content, because really up until then there really wasn't much. There was only like 4 podcasts, 5. Well, with UC there was 5, and then Trey was doing his thing, and then he stopped that kind of the throwdown that he was doing.
Let's say we have Big Ass,
yep.
We had Doghouse, we had you, Cito's Cornhole Corner,
yep.
We had Eat, we had Brews and Reviews,
yep.
We had the Back Room. What it was? There was another one. We had 7. I think there was 7. There was one more.
No, there was the Shed.
The Shed.
Yeah, the Shed. Yep.
So there was 7 total.
Well, and then Gross and Sims out of Texas were doing one as well.
Well, then behind that you also had Eddie's Cornhole Review that came behind that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Eddie's was more on bags and
but like if you go past it, like it just kept growing and growing.
Yeah. Yes, it did. Yes. So I mean, technically, we had 10 good content people out there that really cared about the game, really loved the game, really wanted to grow the game. But yes, like you said, I think, and anybody can shoot me in the ass if they want to say it, but I still think Cleveland got the shaft. I think during COVID, you had 1,000 players. There's still never been 1,000 players at a cornhole tournament, right?
Well, you shut down the world.
I know we did.
and you had a grown man in a leprechaun suit show up to the tournament.
Yes,
on a scooter.
But we had 1,000 players signed up. We had 300 people in the standby, right? 176 sets of boards, probably over 300 fans ready to come to that place to watch. Because let's face it, we still really haven't had a really good fan base of cornhole.
Listen, here's the thing.
And I think Cleveland ever happened, if Cleveland would have happened, cornhole would be different now. Because
but I think Cleveland did two things for cornhole. It's the tournament that never was, which would have made it explode. But it also was the beginning of making cornhole better and more mainstream because it was the only thing that was on TV.
And it's a two-edged sword, right?
Double edged.
Damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. And yes, it turned out great for the ACL and cornhole and in general. And yes, we have more content. And what do we have? 900 hours of cornhole now or something like that. You know what I mean? Which is great for the game. Don't get me wrong. But I think all the influential people that wanted to be at Cleveland's tournament, I think the sponsors would have been there. I really, truly think the fan base would have been out of this world.
It would have exploded more.
It would have been, yes, it would have just, and they don't want to come to Cleveland because of that fact.
So, Cito, do you recognize this?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's downtown Cleveland.
That was part of my scooter ride. Hold on, ready?
And I've said it on the show many times, is that Friday morning I was with Matt and we had to deliver some stuff to the ACL. So I actually got to go down inside that venue.
That's a beautiful street right there.
But it's empty.
It's the ACL trailer just sitting alone in the street.
But that street in Cleveland is on a Friday afternoon is packed.
Right. Usually, yes, but there's nobody.
There's nobody. But that's what happened when the world shut down.
But the greatest thing, Donnie, is the hardest thing for some people. They got off the plane and they turned around and got back on the plane and left. Some people got here, then they ended up leaving.
But wait a minute. A year later, look what happened.
Right.
That's when I came out to play with you.
That's the tournament. So we had some what do you call underground cornhole tournaments going on? Try to keep everybody happy, trying to do that. We did have My Cancer fundraiser the day before.
You did, yep.
So we were able to kick that off. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, at 12:30, when we're getting ready to close up, they announce we're done.
Oh,
closed. See you guys.
Oh, here's the thing. So, Cito, me, Brendan, and Pat landed at like 10:30. And when we took off from Boston, tournament's on.
Yes.
When we landed, we were walking through the concourse, and like the world is shut down. We're like, what? What?
Yes. It's crazy. It you know what? It changed a lot. It did. Not for cornhole in general, just for the world itself, changed a lot. But it really spoke to Cleveland's character. It really spoke to the people that were in the cornhole family, that knew the cornhole family. At least we were making a home for some people that stuck around. Some people never been to Cleveland, so they got to go and, drive around, fly around, whatever.
No. I got to drive around Cleveland on a scooter. Buying beer.
But I see in the chat, Steve Pohl, which I believe Steve was at that tournament in Cleveland. I know Steve did get to meet you, Cito, in Cherokee in 2018. But I believe Steve was with us at that tournament in Cleveland.
Was one of the teams in the cancer fundraiser, I believe.
I think so. Yeah, I was just because I'd actually got sent this here because Jamie Cowan had found it. Him and Scott Sullivan played against Wally Kassler and Mike Bach.
Who?
Mike Bechtel.
Okay, Bechtel. Okay.
Yeah. Mike Bechtel and Wally, both not that good at cornhole.
Can you believe Wally was playing back then?
Well, I know. No, I can believe it, but it was like 2 on the floor, maybe 1 on the board. I don't know.
Now he's throwing 4 baggers, which is crazy because
I'm 13 years in and still doing that. Okay.
Listen, those who can't throw start to commentate.
That's right here. That's right here.
Hey, Hey, Dottie. So let me ask you two this question. Since 2017 and now, what drives you both in this game? What makes you want to still commentate? What makes you still want to play? What makes you still want to be part of this great community that I call, let's bring it together. Titan Bags, okay? Canada Cornhole, you know what I mean?
Go ahead, Dougie.
What is it? What is it that makes you thrive? I know we're not making $1 million. I know we're not making that. We're, but what is it that you guys still get out of this game that we love so much?
To be honest, for me, is just kind of coming out of COVID and just after COVID, like for about the year and a half after COVID, it started to get a little stagnant for me. If I'm going to be honest, because we were still just Ontario here. But then in the last year and a half, 2 years, we've now kind of grown nationally up here, and it's really kind of got my kind of juices flowing again for the game, because we've got so many new players that are coming in that, some of the older players are coming in and think, oh, these guys aren't going to be good. And every tournament up here, we're getting new players that are just incredible. And that's for me, is just seeing those new players come in and kind of keeps you wanting to go in all these other extra tournaments and just kind of seeing these new people kind of advance and even get to meet some of them.
Hey, Donnie, what do you think?
So for me, it's a little different, because I love the new people coming in the game. Honest, Cito, you know me for a while. We've been friends for many, many years. And I love that we can be ambassadors of the game and bringing more and more people in. I've done this for a while, and I've had partners that maybe don't like what I do, because sometimes I get a little loud. Sometimes I get a little crazy. But that's who I am, right?
Not you.
I'm always going to be my genuine self. And I love that I've been playing this game since, 2015?
2015-16 season?
Oops.
He's getting choked up. He's crying a little bit back there. Just give him a minute. He's choked up. He's got some tears in his eyes.
This is the first. Donnie is speechless.
Script is correct. The written down script. He's got to make sure it's correct. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. He's looking back.
We can hear you. I can hear you.
So Doug, as he's trying to figure out what he's doing with his thing, so do you love the fact that Canada is part of the UN as far as the cornhole community? Do you think it? I mean, you guys got 160, 170 people. You're ready, Donnie? Just keep going. 170.
Sorry about that. I hit a friggin' button because I talk with my goddamn hands.
Well, we can hear you. I'm trying to mess you. We can hear you. It's just.
Yeah. I'm sorry. My grandmother was Italian, so I'm sorry, Sicilian. If I said Italian, she'd be very angry.
Right.
But my biggest thing in this game right now is that there's way too many personalities that maybe have hurt the game because they want to make it something that's not. I love playing this game. I love throwing this game. I love traveling around the country.
Yes.
And meet some of the best people in the world. I have had the pleasure of working for one of the greatest companies in the whole wide world.
Yeah.
Like Brandon Greba in the family at Titan, Candy, Bruce, Ben, all of them have taken care of me. I love doing what I do
Mhm.
because I get to be a complete, to some people, an asshole, to some people, a knucklehead, to some people, just that guy that is just, what the hell is he doing?
You're the voice.
And that's the thing. Like, I love doing that.
But if you didn't have a voice, you wouldn't want to do it, and then you wouldn't be part of it. So, you know, you got a great voice, you got a great demeanor about it. If people get butthurt because you're too truthful about things, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, you're an apologetic guy, anyways. You don't like to hurt people's feelings, or not trying to, but in the grand scheme of things, you're doing everything the right way.
But I'm going to tell you how it is.
Yes.
I'm not going to be apologetic if I don't have to be. Right, Dougie?
Well, yeah, for sure. And then just kind of to add on to what I said, and we talked about this last week when we had Jay Rubin on, is that we've got so many other new players that are in the game that I think sometimes the OG stuff is overlooked, like yourself, like that whole crew of the first OG pros, right? Being yourself, being Eric Ryder, you know, all those guys, they get overlooked, and I think we need to try and do something to kind of bring that back, or maybe we need a Hall of Fame in Cornwall. Maybe we're still young, but maybe we still need to kind of do that there, because we've had so many great players here in Canada, and guys that Cito you've got to play against, either in Cherokee or in some of the other times, but guys like Corey Goldbeck, like Scott Sullivan, that in Canada here that were the top players, and they've kind of, once some of the other newer stuff came in, they kind of took a back seat and kind of walked away.
Well, but Doug,
I think
we also have some people in the Ohio, West Virginia border that don't even play in the big tournaments that
Right.
probably could take down some of the best pros in the world.
We got a lot of players that are backyard players, but not backyard players. You know what I mean?
Oh, we got a lot of players that come out of the holler, Cito.
Absolutely, you do. And it's like, this game has evolved so much. And I do agree with you, not because I'm part of the 16 or 24 or whatever you want to call it. But I believe that there should have been a time, or there should have been a grandfathered in clause, no matter what they do, even if it's an elite status. I don't think they should have ever not lost their status, is all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Well, but do you come back for like a super hole or something else like that?
Well, I told my wife this. I want one more chance.
Wait a minute. We're not calling her your wife. We're calling her Mary.
Mary. Okay. Mary, my wife.
Mary.
So I'm making a run next year. My goal is to have one more appearance on ESPN, no matter how it works, if it works. But I owe it to myself to try one more time, because in my mind, in my world, I want to finish the way that I started. And I know people out there respect me. I know people out there still call me, still text, "Hey, why aren't you here?" You know, this is the first time since Vegas has been part of the National or Opens. This is the first one I've ever missed. I feel like I should be there. You know what I mean? Like, so I really do want to make one more run. I still want to do that. I'm playing the best cornhole I ever have. Some of my muscle issues and some of my pain is still there, but I think I've managed it in a little bit, through Fireball, through a little bourbon, a little bit peppermint gum, you know, whatever you want to call it. It's helped me. And I think I owe it to myself, and maybe owe it to some of the fans out there that still believe in what I stand for and believe what I do. So,
well, but is there, if the ACL is going to be true to its history, and I'm gonna call them out right now, Stacy. I still want to get backstage at Spencer's. But if you're going to stay true to your history, do you bring the OGs back and maybe do a OG hole, right? Or whatever you call it, right?
Right.
Bring the originators of the game, because you go on to Wikipedia, which sometimes I don't. It's a little sus, as my daughter would say, because she's 15. But if you look, cornhole originated in the Ohio, Pennsylvania area, right?
Most of it. So yes, in Ohio, there is actually, to be honest with you, when I started traveling this game, and I found this out, in Pennsylvania, there's a place called Sammy's Restaurant. The owner of Sammy's Restaurant actually has a blueprint of the very first 2x3 boards.
I think you posted that like a year and a half ago.
And all the schematics as a patent, but he never sent it in to get patented. Can you believe how crazy that is? It's the owner of this Sammy's Restaurant out there in Pennsylvania somewhere, where we went to go play cornhole somewhere.
Well, would cornhole be different today if he did?
Yes, it would be. Totally. Right?
Yeah.
If Ohio State never made the boards 2x4s, and made them bigger, would we be still 2x3s? Or, this, Reynolds, Bill Sobolewski's dad.
Who?
Bill Sobolewski's dad, Reynolds. His dad, 1963 or 1964, there's a video out there of him throwing bags, being tossed, on a board that stood straight up and a hole that was in the middle. And it was, I don't even know how high it was, but they had to throw the bag through the hole to score points.
Well, you know what, Cito, you bring up another name, and Donnie has seen this here firsthand. You talk about the OGs or the big names of the game, and people don't know who they are. Is that Jeff Reynolds came up to an open here in Canada in Drummondville, Quebec, and he walked around and nobody knew who he was. And I was like, except for Donnie, he called him out in the beer line, but still, like when I went to said to a couple people, I was like, do you know that you were probably standing by one of the most influential men in cornhole history?
But Doug, here's the thing. I can tell you right now, the top 4 people in cornhole right now that own companies in Cito, you might agree with me. The top 4 people that own the 4 biggest companies in cornhole, if you don't play every week, you don't know who they are. We could put up a what do they call it, a lineup? Right?
Yeah.
The police put a lineup up. We could put a lineup up on the Corn Dog page, and maybe a third of the people could pick out who the owner of that company is.
I would have to say yes. I agree with you right there.
Would you say a third or less, Cito?
I think it's less than a third, man.
Without Googling, no Google, none of the other bullshit.
You got to straight up look at the lineup and say, okay, yes, I definitely know that guy's this, definitely know this guy's that, and I know this guy's that.
Yeah, you just got to pick up. No, but if we put up one picture with 5 randos beside them.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think they would. I mean, I honestly don't think they would. Like,
I don't think they can, because most of the people that throw the bags know the name, not the face behind the bag.
It's okay. So Reynolds should be synonymous with Jeff. Everybody should know who Jeff.
I will tell you, Jeff will probably be, out of 6, would be 5th.
Probably.
Because he's a really private guy.
Yeah, but he's also been on the limelight, bro. He was an ACL king of the world. Like
think of most of the people that play.
I know, but it should be synonymous with cornhole.
Oh, it should be. Listen, He is literally on my. He is on my. What do you call that thing? What's the thing with the presidents?
Mount Rushmore.
Right. He's on my Mount Rushmore. Yes.
The Canadian guy knows that. The American guy doesn't. Just you know.
Listen,
yeah.
I don't have, but like the hair, the brains are seeping out of my head with my mohawk.
Here's a good scenario for you. All right, BG Cornhole, right? Let's take BG for instance. All right, with TJ and with Rich Sheamus, right? Because let's face it, Rich changed that whole trajectory, made it even better than whatever it was, skyrocketed to the moon, right? Now, do they both get a standing statue on Mount Rushmore, or does Rich get it and TJ don't, or does the OG get it? You know what I mean? Because with BG, it should be synonymous with both names because they both made a name for themselves. You don't think so?
Do.
Okay.
Okay. And here's the thing. Listen, I've talked to TJ, and I love TJ, but if you really look at the brand, when TJ brought it here,
yes,
Graham and
Rich
brought it here.
Yes, like all the way up.
All the way. No, but they brought in and at the same time, I don't want to take away from TJ because he built a brand.
Absolutely.
But the game took off when they bought it.
Right.
Because they signed some amazing talent.
Right, but let's think about it this way too. Any good business, when you have some, let's say, some green out there to help solidify what your brand is already, that makes it a whole lot easier, doesn't it not?
Yeah, but when you're buying a brand that is,
you had a brand downhill, you had a brand getting bad mouth, you had a brand that wasn't, because of the customer service wasn't running good, and TJ knows that. But you had a brand that was going down, but the bags itself was still perfect. The product was still great.
Yeah, but do you take the other two people that brought that brand up?
No, you don't set them aside. No, absolutely not.
I'm not saying you don't. I don't say you set them aside, but until the other two took that brand to another level,
right?
It was almost gone.
Yes,
it was. Listen, I work. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. I work for Circuit City.
Yes,
Tito, you know my story. I work for Circuit City, and it was in a book called Good to Great. It was like one of the best companies ever, right?
Was, yes.
And literally within 5 years, it was gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same story. It can be about what are you doing with the brand and how you're making it better, or maybe detracting from the brand. And I think TJ was a great innovator.
Absolutely.
But maybe not a great owner, right?
We got
right.
Mark with the comment here in the chat. Like when Rich and Graham got it, it kind of was a bit of a dumpster fire.
Also, what happened was when he did that $150 board thing with the bags, that's when the dumpster started happening.
No, but here's the thing. He's still. We talk about lightning in a bottle, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He still helped out, right? He still was, and I hate this statement, Cito. You know I do. He was.
You're gonna say it. I'm gonna make this a video clip, and I'm gonna put it out there. Say it. Say it.
Say it.
Say it.
He was growing the game.
Yes. What's that mean? What did you say? Wait. What did you say?
I can't say it twice. I will throw up.
But here's the good thing about things. At least TJ knew that he was biting off a little bit more than he could chew. He made everything right before all that stuff did. He did make everything right at the end of the day. There was still a few out there. Rich and Graham came in, storm hit, right? But it was the perfect storm, was it not? ACL's taking off. BG comes in line. Rich and Graham come in. Two, I think one of the nicest guys around. I don't know Graham as well as I do know Rich.
Well, no, there's a nicer guy out there.
Well, Brandon Gerber too. I love him. You know, hey, in my Mount Rushmore, trust me, Brandon Gerber is up there with the best of them. Okay?
All right, but wait, hold on. Ready? Let's take it cornhole players out of it. Who is the who? All right, Cito, we're gonna start with you.
Oh my!
Who is your Mount Rushmore of cornhole innovators? Right, bags, boards, everything else, like driving the game forward. Who are the 4 people on your Mount Rushmore?
I like my 4th pick.
Was that?
We gotta have at least 6 on there though.
Well, we'll start with you 4, and then we can bridge out.
Okay. Well, innovators. Okay. Let's say the first innovator would probably be Matty King, Bagsmith himself.
What did he start with?
Matty King. King.
What did he start with?
Oh, he started with Razorbags.
Razorbacks. I mean, those were some of the best bags in the South when he first started.
And also, he had the first prototype of the carpet bag before everybody else had the carpet bag out there. Let's face it. So we had, so next would have to be the legend himself, Jeff Reynolds bags. All right, because as soon as Matty King found that material, so did Jeff Reynolds, and he went with Pro Advantage. Pro Advantage has been probably the elite bag of all the elite bags since
that was my second favorite bag in the whole wide world.
Right? Okay. And I'm gonna put BG up there as well.
So are you putting BG as a company, or are you putting TJ, or?
I'm putting BG as a whole because I'm not gonna say one or the other because I think they're simultaneously just as good as either. You know what I mean?
The Magic V's.
Yeah, the Magic.
My favorite bag.
You know, I mean, let's face it. Like I love the Slickster controls, and I think if the Slickster controls were out here right now, people would love them. You know what I mean? That was one of the best bags I've ever played with too. You know what I mean? But I do like the Sorcerers now, and I do like the Sorcerel, so that's good. But and then there's Brandon Gerber. All right, would be my 4th. And I'm gonna go 6 because I have to put Steve Miles up there, Cornhole Solutions up there, just because I think the very first person that actually put faith bags together and started a brand and using scripture with his bags, integrity, and all that stuff. So I think that was a smart move on his part. And let's see. Ultra would be my number 6. There you go.
Okay. Dougie?
I can't disagree with any of those guys. I'm gonna add a couple of them for myself for the Canadian side. It has to be Matt Plyle.
That's a Canadian.
With bringing bringing cornhole to Canada, with bringing the ACL and all that stuff to Canada, and then just with the stuff he's done with Octane bags, has been incredible.
Yeah, but there's another there that does really good bags too. Give that Canadian guy some props.
Yes. I'll just say yeah. Jamie Cowan with his beaver bags does really good too. Yes. But Jamie Cowan with his board stuff, right? With the whole JC Cornhole stuff and just kind of the innovator in the game that he's been. And another guy he's a player but he's had a big influence on some bag stuff.
Talking about bags and board manufacturers.
Being Frank Modlin with the patch, that was a big game changer, right? With bag technology, right? But yeah, so there's that.
All right, you're good with that one. I'll give you that.
Right.
Listen, that was an honestly disruption to the system.
It absolutely 100% was. You know why? Is because there was a guy named Rusty Bags. He's a veteran. He's half blind. He's, and he came out with a patch bag, and he had a patch bag that was circle, and they actually went after him. And, the story, I'm sure, I don't know if you guys know Rusty Bags or if you ever heard of him or whatever, but it like kind of took his whole lifestyle that he was trying to do and put it in the dumpsters.
Well, and it was a tough time for cornhole because at the time they had already put their patent in, and it was a non-conformist patent, I would say. Like really, it hurt a lot of companies.
It did. And Killer Bees is another one that kind of got screwed on that too because they had a patch.
Did they get screwed, or were they not in front?
They weren't in front. But I think at the same time as the patch bag came, I think Rusty Bags had his bags out there too, though.
He was a little bit behind.
Was he a little bit behind? Okay.
A little bit behind. I mean, honestly, I think with Frank and here's the thing. I am not an all cornhole guy. Not even close. But they had their bags out there before everybody else.
Yeah.
And
actually the first patch bag was ACO, the Chinese ones on the 450s.
But here's the thing, they did not.
I know. I'm just saying they were from a Chinese.
No, it was the first one.
They were the very first one. Let's put it out.
It was way beforehand. But when you're in this country, I'm not going to say one of the greatest countries, but this country, and you apply for a pattern, and you word it in a way to alienate other companies.
Yes.
You will maybe, once it gets through, hurt a lot of other companies.
And that's what
I know a company I worked for had a slow side, fast side bag way before then, maybe called the Jekyll and Slide, which was a slow fast bag, but because it didn't have a patch on it, it did not qualify for the pattern. But if you put anything that was a square, triangle, circle on the back of the bag, it stopped it.
Well, it's the same thing as those little dots from Ultra. You know what I mean? So they can't have those little dots on there anymore because that's considered a patch.
Yeah, but they paid the VIG.
I'm just saying. You know what I mean? I know.
No, but the thing with it is I like, but I don't like it in cornhole, right? Because here's the thing. We're in a free market society, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, you are hurting innovation in cornhole at the same time, maybe?
Do you think because one company has a patch bag, don't you think other companies should be able to have the same patch or a different type so they can compete with that same patch bag?
If you have not put out a bag, because here's the thing. Look, Cito, let's get into it. Because right now, ready?
Yep.
When all cornhole put out the patch bag,
yes,
it was a square.
Yes.
and it was symmetrical to the bag, right?
Yep.
The corners matched up to the corners.
Absolutely.
Why was Ultra excluded? Because they had dots.
I have no idea.
But no, I'm sorry. All cornhole did not have dots.
No, they didn't have dots.
All right. I'm gonna ready. Let's go deeper. Titan
Yes.
had a bag that had a sticky patch on it, right? It was a square, but it was not a extra piece of the bag, right? It was like dye sublimated on the bag, right?
Yes, it was. Yes.
So why is that? Why is that excluded? I'm sorry. Like it should have. The patent should have been if the patch is raised and stitched onto the bag. That makes it different. Rusty bags made a circle.
Circle.
A circle.
Right.
Why, if they're not in,
it was only a half-inch circle that was around.
But they're not in the same 3-letter organization.
I know
they're within the country. Why does that stop it?
I don't know why. They're not even in the ACL at all.
Well, I didn't say those 3 letters, but
I mean they're not. They're not even a. They're not even accurate.
But why? But if it's
patent,
different, when you write your patent, and I understand all companies do this. I work for a rather large corporation. But why is that hurting other company? Like, why is a patch the same as a dot?
Because and this is the thing that I want to ask you, Donnie and Doug. In the great scheme of things, you're not supposed to alter a bag from its original state, correct? Right. Isn't that what states in the rules?
It has to be the same as it was submitted.
Right. But it's not supposed to be altered in any state. That means the fabric is the fabric. If you sew a patch on the fabric, you're altering it from its original state. Are you not?
But the patch was approved.
I'm just saying, I'm just playing by the rules, right? So if you are allowed to wash and dry your bags, you're not altering the state. But once you use Sacrolax and fabric softener and vinegar, aren't you altering that fabric from its original state?
Only if. Oh, no. Let's be honest. Only if there's a way to measure the fabric. Because right now, Cito, you know this, there is only weight in template.
Right. Weight and template, but let's face it. If you have a dry clean only fabric and you dry it in a dryer, you're changing and altering that dry clean fabric.
Yeah, but here's the thing. And I'm going to say the 3-letter organization has to have a template that as an official, because now I can pay to take the class and be an official.
Right.
I need a template to either put the bag in and, kind of do the measurements.
Right.
And I need a scale that weighs it.
So why is it when we go that first day into the tournaments, why isn't there a line and everybody checking their bags?
Because in the rules right now, and I'm not a rules official, but I've read them all. You as a player right now have to request it.
Right. But okay, I got you. I understand. Like, trust me, I don't.
And listen, this is banter. This is banter back and forth.
If people want to alter their bags from their original state and use fabric softener and all that stuff, I don't care. You break them in however you want to break them in.
Listen, Cito, 2 years ago at Worlds, we had teams that challenged each other, and the team that challenged was worse than the team that got challenged.
Right. It was, but they both got disqualified, or they didn't get disqualified, but they were allowed to play the bags anyways.
They were allowed to play, and all right, let's get deeper. That brings us into the stupid step rule.
Oh,
don't get me started with the step rule. Because
no, but it brings it. Here's the thing. No matter, and that's why I bring it up, because I was a big proponent of the step rule. I hate it. Right? What if you can't stop before the line? Why are you playing? Right? But at the same time, I was running a turn. I didn't. I'm sorry. Rewind. I was the voice of a tournament, and I got yelled at because I didn't call foot fouls or timeouts.
Really?
And I was like, they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like,
"I'm commentating.
I'm the commentator."
Right.
And they're like, "Well, you should be." No, that's not my job.
No.
If I'm sitting behind this table, my job that technically you're supposed to be paid for, but I wasn't. I'm the one that's supposed to like just be here just talking about the tournament. I'm not the person to call your foot foul. I'm not the person that calls timeouts. You need to go find the tournament director way over there.
Yeah, but even the foot foul is still subjective, bro.
No, but it's
still subjective. It's still subjective.
How?
Because that foot does come off. That back foot 90% of the time comes off the ground.
But should we have a foot cam?
But here's the thing. The boards are 2x4s. There's 4 foot. If you want to have a step over, then start back 5 feet and step over after your throw.
You can't start 5 feet.
Yeah, you can.
You're not in the box.
Yeah, you are.
What? The board's only 4 feet.
The box is 6 by what? 6 by 8.
You have to be either toe in the board. You can't be outside.
If you're behind the board.
No, your toe has to be in the box.
You're still in the box. You got 4 feet. Who steps 4 feet?
No, nobody does.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If you want to carry,
I can tell you a couple of people that do.
I'm going to say I've seen a couple of people.
But there's a line. There's a faded line just in bowling. Even after you throw the ball, and you cross the line, there's a beep. You're disqualified. That ball doesn't count. Even after you throw it. If we're going to be synonymous with golf or bowling or 3-point line shooting, whatever, even if you cross that line, you're off. You get a penalty, right?
Well, Cito, there should be a line.
Well, you know what? I don't want to say we should be like golf, because in golf, people can be watching home and phone in.
No, that's done. They're done. You can't do that.
I'd be done.
No.
But you know how bad, and Donnie, I sent this to you today. Do you know how bad this step over thing is? It's now the people that make up fake Facebook accounts don't even know which Facebook account they're using when they're complaining about step over stuff.
But here's the thing too, so I think it's subjective. I think it's subjective. I think that there's a fine line between love and hate, right?
Yeah.
If a person like Fact Marlin, who uses it every single throw, that's different. If you use it on pushes or to do a trick shot, that should not be allowed, because there's an advantage. You're getting an extra 1.5 foot advantage crossing over that line. It's true. It's true.
If the bag is released before his foot hits the ground, how is it an advantage?
Because you're stretching over that line, that actual more. Measure it. Measure somebody's foot foul. Measure somebody's foot. You'll see it's like 2.5 to 3 foot closer to 27 feet.
Are we going NASCAR with last week's results?
I am a non-component of the foot. It
Listen,
such
Cito,
a
you know I hate the foot foul,
Right.
but at
distraction.
what point do you enforce it at the same time?
It's
Because
hard to enforce because
Oh, it is.
it's subjective. I
No.
took that test. I took the official test. And 90% of the things that I seen on those videos looked like an actual foot foul. I failed the test. I'll be honest. I failed it. But I was subjectively looking at the foot that was supposed to be planted at that time. It skids across the ground. That means it picked up off the ground. If it skids across the ground, that means you're not really on the ground.
Mhm.
So that's a foul.
Well, wait a minute. Remember when we were kids when we played tag and it was electricity?
Now you're getting ticky tacky with that. All right. But again, there's 4 feet. There's no reason why someone can't stand in the back of the foot. Okay, let's put it this way. Rosie Streaker has the biggest forward stride in anybody I've ever seen. She never crosses over that line, ever.
Listen,
And
when
she
I saw
stands on
her
back.
when I saw her in Canada, like literally the backdrop, she had her foot on the on the thing and
Right.
pushing off of it.
Right.
Literally and still did not cross the line.
Right. Exactly. So if you can make a big stride like that, there's no reason to carry over. The only reason why it started is because, from what I understand, there was a couple people that started it, right? And the reason why they started it is because they had some injuries, so they had to do it, right? Or whatever.
Well, it's
Just got
because they could.
because they could, right? But it should have never ever been part of the talk. It should have been automatically a foul. Why did we have? And this is let's go back for the original, 2016, 2017. If you want to go to the ACO days, then you're looking at 2012, 2010. There's an imaginary line. You can't step over it. How in the heck did it go from imaginary line, you can't step over it at all, to allowing players to step over it? It's because they didn't enforce it from that day, and it's a mistake.
Listen, Tanner Halbert almost lost 25 grand.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Stepping across an imaginary line because somebody was watching it.
Because of the ACO. Yep. Somebody was watching it.
It was the last year he was in the ACO.
Yes, he was.
And he threw a bag and
his toe hit the line.
His toe hit the line. It affected many other bags.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I without the laser and the beep in like bowling,
right.
I don't know how we're going to solve it. But to your point, even if you put an official there, it's still going to be subjective.
You got to get, like the NFL, officials that are not part of the game.
It doesn't matter if they're part of the game or not, though, until you bring in some sort of system.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
It takes the human element out of it, right?
Yeah.
I can put you on the right side of the field, and I can put me on the left side of the field.
Right.
And we might still see it differently, right?
Right.
I mean, if you look at NASCAR, that race that was won, what, a week and a half ago? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. Yep.
That was done by a camera.
Right. Because it was close. Right.
It was so close. But does cornhole have the time for that? It just doesn't. The game is so fast.
And with so many, like that's the other tough thing, is that there's so many boards at these events. You can't really have that many little lasers or whatever.
But if I call an official,
exactly.
Who's showing up? I mean, Cito, we look at Cleveland, right? Cleveland, I think it was 126 boards or something like that when we were supposed to do the big thing.
176.
176 boards, right?
Right.
How many at the time in cornhole? How many officials could you have had?
Well, and again, I was down in that venue,
No idea.
right? And how long would it have taken? I've seen how big it was. It would have taken someone like 10, 15 minutes to get to your board because the place was so massive.
Well, but here's the thing. In Cleveland, when that tournament was supposed to happen,
Yes.
right? You had 5, and I'm going off memory, 5 of regional and local directors that were going to be there.
Yes. Yes,
They
you did.
could not cover 176 boards. It just wasn't going to happen.
1,000 people in their place. Like, how are you going to be able to justify that? You can't.
No.
Yeah.
Listen,
No,
it was Sean Haley, Jeff Vachon,
Dave Weiser.
Dave
Weiser was there.
Weiser.
Yeah.
You were there.
I was there, yes.
And I mean, I think there was 1 or 2 others from the air. What's his name? Joe
Joe Harsh.
Joe Harsh, yeah.
Joe Harsh, right? And Keck was there.
Keck, yep.
Like, and then you had Trey and like some of the other ACL people there.
Yeah.
But I'm taking like some of their, not to hurt anybody's feelings, but some of the lower level people,
I
like
got you. Yeah,
that
absolutely.
was running things, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's not like you're talking. Even give us 7 or 8. There's not enough people to cover that many boards.
No.
Nope.
It just doesn't happen. And at the time when we were negotiating playing, everybody was supposed to be 6 feet apart.
Yes.
There was supposed to be like all the hand sanitizer.
Yep.
And like people picking up bags. There was just no way that like it could happen, right?
You have 176 people there at the same time that weren't that were just standing there.
I mean, the game gets harder as it gets bigger.
They had to get flags. Right. But I also think that, this 256 pros is actually going to go down to 100.
I honestly think it should be like 50 or 60.
I think the top 100 can be paid.
Well, I think the top 100 can make pay, but
I think the pay's there.
I think the big thing right now though is sponsor payout.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, we lost 10 to 12 people this year.
Mm-hmm. Which
they couldn't make what they made years past.
Right.
And that hurts the game at the same time, where if you're upfront and honest as to what that can and can't happen.
I still think the U18 should not be playing, my personal opinion. There should be a separate league just for the U18 or anyone under 18 or anyone under the 21 rule.
But here's the thing, how much money they're taking out of the pot?
I mean, if they're winning tournaments.
No, I'm saying sponsorship money. How much are they taking out of the pot?
We don't know that. That's not
all public information. So
I don't think that's public information how much actually was going to kids or not. But
do you want to tell you?
You can tell me.
I can't tell it there.
No, it's probably it. I mean, I don't even.
No, but here's the hard part, though. But U18, is even harder because you have a couple of U18s that make it into a final bracket.
Yep,
and it ruins the betting odds.
I don't want to be the guy that goes there, but when you look to go back to what we were saying before, when you look at all those U18s, how many of them step over the line? I'm going to say probably about 95% of them.
And
if you watch them,
I would say you're about half. It's about half.
I think there's a lot more. I think there's a lot more of those U18s that do it than over 18.
But the U18 though, the reason a lot of them step across the board is because they're going for that really silly like hard drag push, right? They go in for that, like, I'm going to send a piss missile right down the middle of the board.
And let's face it, they don't care if they win or lose. They're just slinging the bag anyways. You know what I mean? They haven't got that mental in there yet. You know what I mean? Like us old guys, that play the game and really try to think about what our next shot's going to be. These guys just get up there and sling it, and hopefully it goes in the hole. And they do a great job. You know what I mean? And let's face it, they don't have kids. They don't have a wife. They don't have nothing but school. So they.
Well,
and not to sound bad, and not to have this be in a negative way, but they're almost too young and dumb to not know this will be this good.
Yes,
this young.
Well, Cito, here's the thing: some of these kids that are playing under U18,
yes,
are homeschooled.
Okay, there you go.
Like, so they don't even have the pressure of regular school and everything else. I can go out on a Tuesday night and play a blind draw.
Yep.
Because I don't have to be at school tomorrow until mom says so.
Right.
Or dad says so, depending on who's running. I don't want to offend anybody.
Yeah, we can't be that way.
Yeah. Listen.
No, I understand the youth, and I understand growing the game, because the youth is growing the game. All right, whether you want to give me a stinky face or not.
Hey, you said it, Donnie. You opened the door for it, so it can be said now. Forever on this show.
Let's face it. We need growth in the game, growth is good. That means sustainability. That means more sponsors, hopefully, and that means more revenue, and that means more sharing. Right? I get it, but why couldn't there be just a youth cornhole for the U18s and call it the
junior division?
What was our baseball teams back in the day? What were they called when we played?
You had Little League or whatever, but
you had Babe Ruth,
right? Or Mickey Mantle or whatever.
Yeah.
Call it Matt Guy. I don't give a crap.
Make it the Rocky Rockwell youth.
Yeah.
I mean, just call it something, and then have the best pros teaching these kids what it's like.
But call it scholarship.
Well, call it a scholarship then. But if we are betting, like you said, and it ruins the bet line because Ian Cripps won the shootout and it screwed up the rest of the betting line. Nobody thought he was going to win, and he ended up winning. So he can't make money. The people can't bet on him because he's 18. So
the thing with it is you can't even prospect on him winning because you can't put a line.
Right. You can't put a bet on that.
You can't even say he's a 600-1 or whatever it is. You know what I mean? You can't do it.
Not at all. Even though he would have been the biggest jump and the biggest pot right there, and they could have made $1 million on that bet because he would have been,
he'd be a 1-3.
1-3
line.
You know what I mean? But youth is good for the game, but it's not conducive to the game, if that makes sense.
Well, it's not conducive where the game wants to go.
Right. Exactly.
It's conducive to growing the game.
Yes.
But it's not conducive to what the game wants to be or where it wants to go. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If you look at it, we've got some amazing people playing right now that are 21 and under. I mean, we've got the whole crew from the scholarship team.
Yeah.
That, we've got Winthrop 8 to 10 kids now that are friggin' getting a huge scholarship to play all 4 years.
Yep.
And they can still win money. It doesn't ruin their NCAA contract or whatever it is. But, I mean, they can still win.
Right.
And it doesn't hurt the game. But these kids under 18 who are throwing really well, and listen, I love them all. I think they're all doing amazing, and I won't take it away from them.
Wrong. There's, hey, you know what I mean? You got Hicks, you got Cribs, you got Cash, you got Official Hamilton. You got. I put a post out there. I think there's more than 10 great freaking youth players out there right now that are playing. You know what I mean?
Dude, you got the Gore boys that are in the top 10 of the world.
Right.
Well, you got just tonight here down in Vegas. You got Candler Bag and Quinn Reeves winning doubles.
Yep.
Yeah, but you look at the top 20 in the world right now,
Yes.
and there's five under 18. They're in the top 20 right now. And I'm taking ACL out of it. I'm just talking overall.
Yeah.
You've got 5 under 18
You might
that are money. That
I
you
bet
go to a blind draw, you get one of them.
if you're gonna go by everyone, I think you got about 7 in the top 20, maybe even 10, maybe half the field is all youth. You under 8 or you under 21, you probably got more than half of the top 20 that you're talking about that are all under 21.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is ridiculous, which is crazy. Because you never heard of anyone that played this game back in the day under 21.
Listen, when I first started playing, I was worried about that old guy that showed up in overalls. Because that was the guy that only played locally.
That was Barry Hempy. The old man with the overalls that played ACL one year and then he plays ACO mainly, but Barry Hempy. That's the guy that I was always afraid of because he always had the overalls.
Listen, some of those guys, I went down to visit Chris Meek, and I was afraid to play some of those guys in the barn because I'm like, this guy looks like he could just throw a bag right down the middle every friggin' time.
Dude, there's some great Amish guys that play cornhole up here that if you played against them, good luck to try to beat them. Good luck. They were just the Miller boys up here are just amazing. So I don't know. Doug, you got any good stuff going on over there in Canada?
We've got a ton of great players, and there's just almost like I said before, it's almost every event there's like 2 or 3 new players show up that are just they're then on the scene. So that's what's getting exciting for me up here. But
how's my boy Brandon Brown and Tracy doing?
Not too bad. He's been taking down the pro division up here. And so I'm expecting there's going to be the big showdown, I think, coming up here in a month from now in St. John's. It's going to be him and Dion Kuza, I think, in a final in St. John's there, and that'll be the big match there.
So are you two combining each other's stuff together now?
Just here on the Saturday nights, we kind of just because we got nothing else to do on a Saturday, we don't have a life.
Well, Cito, what we've done is we figured, listen, here's the thing. We've got only tournaments going on the weekend.
Yes.
Why don't we just meet up and just talk about cornhole and have a great time?
There you go.
Because the thing with this, we don't usually even talk about the tournaments. We're just talking about cornhole in general and just having fun. Because
great conversation, and I think your listeners might think this is really good knowledge to know what everybody's thinking, what the average Joe cornhole players are thinking. Did I say average Joes?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, last week we brought on a guy that is okay.
Cito jumped in at the end there. He was in watching at the end there.
Yeah. A guy that's okay at cornhole in Chicago.
Yeah, maybe okay.
He's okay. I mean, he's won 1 or 2 tournaments.
I think he's indoor, across the living room.
Yeah,
across the corner, one board. I think he's the best guy inside a house.
Listen,
throw a bag in a hole.
He is the best bed knobs and broomsticks.
Oh yeah. That guy. There's a few people in the cornhole community that are players that are probably very marketable and very money oriented and will love the game again. Jay Rubin, in my opinion, is probably the best marketable, one of the best marketable cornhole players out there that they should have used as a marketing tool to try to get, the big sponsors, if you want to say.
Well, it
In
brings
my,
me, it
in
brings
my-
me to it brings me to a sore subject because some players get handed sponsorships.
well,
So it's
Well, I know I talked to Doug about this before, but I'm not sure if I talked to you, Donnie, about this. But let's face it, if you took the top 20 cornhole players in the world right now, top 20 cornhole players, all adults, all whatever you want to call it, women, men, you could probably put 5 women in the top 20, right? Let's put that there. All right. How many of those players, when you're watching and scrolling on Facebook and you're looking at the things, actually make their sponsors look really good? Can you tell me, Doug?
well, and I think I'm
I don't
agreeing with Don.
think
There's not
I
many.
don't think Donnie really wants to say how many there are, but I'm just gonna be.
There's not a lot because
But
here's the
why?
thing.
But why is that?
Well, I always go back to the NASCAR rule.
Mhm.
All right. NASCAR, on a NASCAR, you have your main sponsor. And then you have maybe 10 to 12 sponsors on the side of the car
Yeah.
in smaller things, right?
Right.
I just don't think we've done enough with prepping the cornhole players to highlight the sponsors. Here's the thing. You go to NASCAR and there's one person standing on the side of the stage with 12 hats.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, there's a
Got the
guy
hat
standing there with hat, like 12 hats. And you literally have to take a picture with each hat in the whole team, right? The whole team has to put that hat on.
Right.
We don't do that. We
But-
don't even we like in a lot of contracts in cornhole don't even say that you have to say average Joes. You
But
don't have to say what
but
your bag sponsor is.
Donnie, we had when I was playing as a pro player, I'm just going to be honest, we were giving videos that we had to watch, and they were part of being a pro. If you did not watch these, you would get fined. You had to watch them. There was classes in there for behavior. There was classes in there for marketing and how to start your own brand. And I'm going to tell you right now, the powers that be had the best people in those chat rooms that we had to listen from. Okay. We all were supposed to learn how to do a 30-second commercial, Donnie. Okay. What is your 30-second commercial?
What is my 30? Oh, you want my 30-second?
I want your 30-second commercial. Like if I went to interview you, hey Donnie, how are you today? Who now let's do your 30-second commercial. You should know it, right? Donnie, how you doing today? You won. What do you feel today?
Listen, I just have to say right now that the Titan darts really helped me win today because every shot I threw really made it work. And I just have to say thank you to the man above and to the Jersey guy. Oh, where is he? Oh, over here. Oh, Jersey guy right there. Because now, you know what? You know what made me stay cool during the entire game? This jersey right here. It breathes, little zip, and I can throw any bag I want to throw. And oh, by the way, if you want to play on the best boards ever in cornhole, put the X Factor in your game at TitanCornholeBags.com. Order some X Factors because it gives you the edge. Gives you the edge in your game.
So, how many top 20 players in the world can actually do that 30-second commercial?
I'm gonna say right there in the chat is Brendan Greba saying very few sponsored players do it right.
Brandon Greba, if I ever won a championship, would I do it right?
I'm just saying
right there.
But
the
no,
only reason why I bring that up is because I, as a pro player, didn't care if I was number 1. I didn't care if I was number 256. I played for the love of the game and for the camaraderie and the people. Do I wish I was still part of the 256? Absolutely, 100%. I don't care where I fall in that. But I can tell you honestly, not one of my sponsors, going back for as long as I've been playing, not one of my sponsors can say anything negative about what I put out or what kind of content I put out there for them.
I'm not saying negative content. Right. I'm just saying
it's all positive.
No, I can say you put out positive stuff, but if you're winning the tournament,
yes,
and it's not you, it's I'm going pro as a collective.
Yeah.
There needs to be more training, and it's not from the sponsor.
Nope.
It needs to be from the organization as to how do you do an interview?
Dude, they get shell shocked, dude. They don't know how to talk on the microphone.
Well, but that's the thing.
All they say, this is their 30-second commercial. You want to hear it? I want to thank all my sponsors. Thank you for getting me here. I appreciate it. Bye. Done. That's it.
But I'm sorry, that's not on the sponsor. That's on the organization. Because listen to me, let me help you out. MLB, NHL, they are working with those people on hit this point, hit this point, hit this point.
They do that. They do, honestly.
At one time?
I've been part of those things. It's part of our thing as a pro. We do.
I think there's and I think they've started that there because I think they've started from talking to some of the pros, some of the newer pros.
I'm honest. Tell you, dude, they do.
Is at the first national now. They do have a seminar that they're supposed to go to. I'm not sure they all go to it.
Here's
what they're supposed to go to.
Stacey Moore, call me up. I am going to talk to the pros before they go on camera on ESPN.
You know what?
I'm going to coach them. I am going to be the sponsor coach for the ACL.
Well, you know what though? But the thing is, the ACL already has someone that is a pro, and I've done many shows with him about this, being Eric Charney, with what he's done in the past with Upper Deck, working with the NBA and that there.
But wait a minute, is he there? And this is nothing against Eric because I love Eric to death. Is he there before they do the 3, 2, 1, go to tell them what they should be doing? Because it's it's not natural right now. It is not natural for this sport. You can listen. Here's the thing,
Donnie. How do you want more money? How do you want more sponsorships? If you don't go up there and say, "Hey guys, thank you very much. I want to thank BG for giving me the best bags in the world. Those Sorcerer L's are amazing. The way they have that product is great. The light is best. You know what? Thank you, Flyer Sports Bar and Grill, for allowing me to come on the summers and play cornhole." That is something you should do automatically, and it should be part of your talk. Outside of anything else.
There's a difference right now in cornhole. I don't have an agent.
Well, we try to talk about getting an agent, but people don't want to pay.
But that's the thing is a lot of these people that do that talk and give that, for lack of a better term, rhetoric.
It is rhetoric.
What?
But it's good rhetoric, but it's
Great
not,
rhetoric.
it's great, yes. But when I put myself out there and I actually said live on my show, if you're looking for a Jerry Maguire, I'm your guy. You know, who a lot of people thought I was one of the most respected cornhole players out there that could do it. And I still could do it. But no one's going to pay me or give me money because they don't make enough money out there to do it.
Well, Greenwood has said there's not enough money out there yet. Get it yet, guys. Well, but that's the thing. But here's the thing.
Frank Gerber, me and him talked a lot, and I love the guy. He shoots it straight. You know what I mean?
Is there not enough money yet because they're not doing it? Or not enough money
because
yet
they're
because
selfish to them. No, because they're selfish to they want the money. They don't want to give it away. Trust me when I tell you. Trust me when I tell you. I've talked to a lot of pros. It's because they're getting the money. They need to live too. They need to make money for their kids or whatever they're making it for. You know what I mean? To make a better life for themselves. I get it. But there's not $1,000 or $100 that is allocated for an agent right now. There's not.
The big thing I see, and it
There
drives
can
me
be.
it drives me insane every September once we get all the pros there. As I see people making Facebook comments or posts saying, if you want to sponsor me, hit me up. No, you can't just do that. You have to go and do the legwork yourself. You have to go to these businesses. You have to show what you can do for them.
Donnie, you've been in the business world for a long time, right? You were always taught, go to the area influence that you most likely would succeed in. Sell your story. Make somebody on the edge of your seat. If you learn how to do that with the area influence that you're part of, then you should be able to go to a perfect stranger, tell them your story, and be able to sell yourself. If you can sell yourself and make yourself exciting, you can make that money that you need to make.
Cito, I grew up in the time of the elevator talk.
There you go.
Right. Elevator talk is 30 seconds.
How Brandon thinks I'm right.
How can you sell me in 30 seconds? Oh, yeah, you put that one up because it was about you. That's real cute, Doug. No, but how can you sell me on you in 30 seconds, right? If you're in an elevator and you only get about 3 or 4 floors, how can you sell that person on you as a player? And I think that's pretty big right now because a lot of the players think, and I saw it mid-season this year. Well, not mid-season because the pro season hadn't started.
Right.
Some players were shiting on some bad companies because they dropped them because they weren't playing. Right. They didn't play all the stuff at the beginning of the season, right?
Right.
And they're like, oh, this bad player dropped me. And all their friends jumped on.
Right.
You're like, this company's so horrible because they're not paying my friend. Your friend didn't play a GD tournament.
Right.
And before the season started.
Right.
I'm not paying you to sit at home.
Yep.
I'm paying you to
But how about those ones? How about the ones
that
jump? How about the ones that jumped ship and went for the money instead of being loyal to the company that they were with? What about those guys? You know, it's the same thing. I've been loyal. I have not moved from BG since I started this game.
Who?
BG. Since I started this game. Not that I'm the longest running BG sponsored player because I haven't been sponsored in a couple years, but they still respect me. But I still throw BG bags in every tournament that I've been to. Now, blind draws are different. I get it. But even 90% of the time, I'm throwing a BG bag because most of the people are throwing BG bags, right? But out of respect for TJ and out of respect for Rich, and Brandon hates me for this, and Brandon Gerber will tell you straight up, you know, he wants me on Titan. But because I'm so loyal to BG, I can't go anywhere. Why are you looking at me like that?
Wait a minute. There's one player in the entire world that's been with Titan since day one. He was an OG West Georgia player.
Yes.
And He literally transitioned from West Georgia to Titan. I forget his name. Oh, wait, it's me. Come
Well,
on.
then you understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah, listen, here's the thing.
You've been approached by how many people and said, "Hey, Donnie, it's time to come our way," but I can't because I'm loyal.
Well, here's the thing.
They've got me.
You gravitate to the people that you resonate with, right?
Absolutely.
And if it's a great company, they will literally find a bag that makes it work for you. Now, listen, Greba still hasn't found a bag that works for me because I'm horrible at cornhole.
But you're a Jekyll and Hyde.
Oh, Jekyll and Hyde, greatest bag in the whole wide world.
Yes, sir.
But it's I will never leave this company unless something catastrophic happens, because the people that work for West Georgia / Titan Cornhole Bags is my family.
Right.
And and look, could I go someplace else and make more money? Probably. But my deal with Greba is not about money. It's about family.
Absolutely.
It's about being part of something that's bigger than this game.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing. When I talk about that, it's not just about Titan. Titan, I fly the flag really high. But guess what? I still help out a lot of other companies.
Same here. Same here. And people gave me shit.
People
gave me shit for that.
I still talk to Graham.
Yep.
I still talk to Rich from BG. I love those guys. I give them shit all the time because I'm like, you guys have never sent me any bags. You guys hate me. But, I talk to Hunter from Burley Bags. I talk to Cook from from Jersey Guy.
Oh, yeah.
I talk to, the people from OCA. I talk to Brews and Reviews. Who are those guys? Nobody knows who they are. They stopped doing
Nobody knows those guys anymore.
Yeah, they stopped doing a podcast like 82 years ago because they're so old. I talk to, all the people from Canada. I talk to a lot of different people in this game, and I will support them to the umpteenth degree.
Absolutely.
My true loyalty is to Titan / West Georgia.
But see, Donnie, you got probably the same issue that I had. As a player, I will throw BG. As a spokesman, as a podcaster, I support all groups because as a media person, you can't just judge one thing. You have to be subjective to all of that. And if everybody has a bag nowadays that fits your groove and fits your thing, there's no problem with me saying the Dart bag is one of the best Titan bags out there. You guys should try it. I've tried it. It's one of the best. I did a review. Go check it out. BG, Steve Miles, the Integrity bag was one of the best bags I ever put in my hand. I feel like you guys, if you guys like that kind of stuff, go to that bag. Those boards, whatever it is, we can do it in such a way where they know where we lie. We don't have to state, who we play with. We don't have to state that because they know that.
Well, there's a difference between sponsor and support.
Right.
And I think other places cross that line. Because I'm never going to say this is the greatest bag on the market.
Right. Well, you won't say that technically, those words, but
no, but I will support. Here's the thing. Greba in the chat knows that, Hunter Richmond is one of, I love that guy to death. I think he makes some great bags. And even though Greba takes care of me and he's one of my biggest sponsors in the entire world, he knows that I'm going to support Burley at the same time because I think I love the people that run the company, right?
Yeah.
I love what they're doing, but they're necessarily not the people that are, supporting me day to day.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
at the same time, I still want to help that company out.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have a good name if you were just that person, right? Are you know what I mean? If you were just that.
Oh, wait a minute. Cito, Ellis versus Hisner right now on the ESPN Plus.
Oh, wow. For
I
the
don't
Michael Hoffman wants the
wait a minute.
wants
I
the
don't
picture
I
of that
don't
one.
have I don't have ESPN Plus, so somebody has to tell me what's happening because
Yeah,
we
we don't get ESPN in Canada. I can't watch it.
I have
Dude.
it, but my wife is napping right now, and I
Yeah.
can't on the TV.
listen, I got to pay a lot of money for it, and Greba, can you shoot me a couple bucks so I can pay for it?
Hey, I'll turn it on for you. It's on
All right.
ESPN Plus.
Oh no, Brandon's saying it's not on now.
Okay.
So
When's it
it's not
coming
on
on,
now.
Greba?
What time's it supposed to be on?
All right, look, we're gonna hold on to the chat for figure that out. But
Hey,
you know, but I think that's the big thing. Like, you can still throw the bag you love because here's the thing, and I know I'm gonna make like my first bag that I ever fell in love with
Mm-hmm.
was a Reynolds bag.
Yeah, the Pro Advantage.
Pro Advantage was my OG bag,
Yep.
and then I fell in love with the Stealth Bombers.
Oh, who was those?
That was West Georgia.
Oh, okay.
But it, because it was a little bit different bag, and I could make that bag work.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I love about blind draws, and that's where I try to like talk to a lot of people about, because when people are like, "What's the best bag for me?" and they post it on certain sites, it drives me crazy because I
absolutely.
can't tell you what bag is good for you. I can only put a bag in your hand, and Cito, I can't throw the bag, but I can maybe tell you how to do it.
Mm-hmm. Right. I know.
Well,
I know.
On Thursday night, when I play in my league, I'm like, all right, try this bag, like throw it a little this way, throw it a little this way, try that. You know what I mean? It's about helping people correct their game a tiny bit, because I can tell you how to do it. I might just not be able to throw it.
Well, Dennis Fortney, one of the new owners of Cleveland Cornhole, he will tell you. He will correct your throw. He might not throw as good as everybody else, but he watches a lot of people, and that's also being part of the community and helping people grow in this game that you don't like, growing the game. Even though that's what we're about, there's not enough. How many standoffish pros do you know that still to this day that are high profile pros don't want to talk to anybody to help grow the game?
Is there 256 pros?
There's 256 pros.
32.
How many?
Lying.
How many do you think really, honestly, like, let's face it, how many role models do we really actually have in the cornhole that are real role models? Now that are true 100% role models.
Well,
not TikTok famous, not Facebook famous, but true role models that you think your kids are going to learn from. Let's face it.
I'm gonna say there's probably more that are no longer pros for me.
Right?
I can tell you
what happened. What happened?
The one person my daughter looked up to when I first got her to start like playing cornhole was Harley Culpepper.
And she would have been a great marketing guru. She would have been a great person to market.
My guy that I say is one of my big, even for myself in the game, role model was this guy's partner, and Michael Hoffman is still wanting a prediction because it's the Ohio guy, 2 Ohio guys. He's holding you, Cito, to that prediction of Ellis or Hisner.
Right now, Megan Maupin and Cheyenne Boomingheim are playing.
Yep, but Michael's still wanting. Who are you picking?
out of Isner or Ellis?
Or Ellis, yes. Ohio.
You know, I believe, and you guys can laugh at me all you want. I still believe Adam Hisner is one of the best players on the out there in the game. He's got every shot known to man. If he didn't get bored with the game in the middle of the game, he would be the best player out there. But somehow he says he gets bored with the game and he ends up doing stupid things. But out of the two, I think right now Ellis has the hot hand. And I think if he stays composed and Adam doesn't make him do stupid stuff, I think it's going to be a race game. I think it's just going to go bag. Who can outlast who?
Here's the thing.
Yes.
Adam gets bored. I've seen it. Talked to him about it. But I think if Adam and Hisner are in the world championships together,
they're always going to be together because it's the same guy.
No, Adam and fucking Ellis, whatever.
Yes.
Shut up, Doug. You know what I was talking about. Don't be a dick. But I think if they get to the end, I love Ellis to death, but I think Hisner wins.
I think he does.
And I'm going to say 52 rounds.
It's going to be a long round. Yeah. Who will outlast the four-bagger? It's going,
here's the thing.
It's going to be like
Hisner will fall apart in the middle.
Yes,
sometimes.
He will. Yes, he does.
Because the game's just going four bag, and then he tries some crazy shots.
Yes.
But I think in the end, his airmail wins.
This could shape up to be a game like
knock Brandon off his chair.
No, but I think honestly, I think it's gonna be a long damn game.
It could be honestly like Pedro and Matt Guy throwing 298 back. It could be like that game. Or it could be like a game like Florida when Adam and Cody Henderson were taking on Jamie Graham and Trevor Brooks. It could be a loud game. It could be a frustrating loud game. It could be a lot of talking and trash talking. So you could have both.
I think it's going to be both.
You can have both because they both love getting the crowd involved. And the more crowd you are drunk on 50 push, the more.
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to bet you that if the two of those meet in a finals, it will be a minimum 52 round game. And guess what? I'm putting $100 up for charity.
Well, you know what? Brandon's saying it right now. This is all it's going to be. Just a bunch of shit talking. It's all it's going to be with those two guys.
Talking, but Greba, I'm going hundo for charity. Loser pays the other's favorite charity because I think it's going to go. I think it's going to be
Donnie. If you win, I'll give you
backpack.
I'll give you a backpack mystery box to raffle off.
All right, here we go.
If Brandon wins, I'll give him a box.
All right.
So you'll get a backpack one if you win, and Brandon will get the box.
So you think I'm gonna
raffle it off for whatever charity you want to get.
So you think my prediction is better because my prize pack is smaller?
There's a possibility that I'm leaning towards what you say.
Listen, here's the thing, though. But honestly, I think Adam has been there so long that I think he has a mental edge over new and old pros because he has been there and has grinded and has worked so long that I think he has a little bit of a mental edge and he's a little mental.
Can somebody be the first person to be comeback player of the year, the MVP at the end of the year. Could it be the first person to have all three of those categories in Adam Hisner?
Oh,
And
I could.
There's a chance.
Also being the OG, since he's never been in the talks ever of being the most valuable player in the game.
So, Cito, I have a
player of the year.
I have a secret envelope right back here in my traveling case that has. I took Team Titan.
Yes.
And when the teams were all announced,
yes,
I ranked them.
Oh, nice.
I ranked them and sealed it in an envelope in my travel case.
Do you remember the order?
I do. I have it in my head. I'm not going to say it here.
You don't have to say it here.
But I have it all ranked back there.
Right.
There's only one other person that knows who it is, and that's my bestest friend in the whole wide world. Not Brandon Greba.
Not Brandon.
That must be
I love you to death, but it's Brucey.
But I'm just saying, like, it could be like, if you want to talk about Rocky Rockwell being one of the best in the game, unfortunately, his time to death and stuff like that, being an ambassador of the sport, Frank Milan being a ambassador of the sport, somebody that brought something in here. Say what you will about Adam Hisner. Some people call him, what did you say, Voice, about yourself? Some people called him asshole.
Yeah.
Some people call him a standoffish kind of guy. But I can tell you, not because I know him personally, not because I know him outside the game, but I could tell you he's probably more giving to this game than other people realize.
Well, but here's the thing. He kind of gets the same rap I do sometimes because he's a very loud person, right? His personality is very...
That's his game.
But his personality, even outside the game, is over the top, right?
Sometimes, yes.
And a lot of people take that as
cocky. Ready to start, guys.
But it takes it as cocky or something else, right?
Yes.
Where there's a difference between cocky and confident. And he knows his game, and he's very confident in it. And I think that's where a lot of people get upset. Yep. And listen, I've said this before, Cito, and it'll make a lot of people angry. We're throwing GD beanbags. Like, let's be honest. We're playing a kid's game, and people are all upset that somebody can do it better than somebody else, and they're cocky. If you're that upset about Adam Hisner throwing a boom...
He just threw a bag off the back.
But because he throws a clean air mail and you're that upset about it, like,
no, he threw a bag back.
It doesn't matter. He's still going to come back. But if he throws a clean air mail and throws a boom and you're that upset, reevaluate your life.
Oh, he's using the white out darts right now.
Oh, that's a sexy bag right there.
They're all white with the black writing. And they're probably fast because he wanted a faster bag because the boards are probably sticky.
So
white is the faster bag of
depending on how that board's playing.
Yeah.
If you're throwing a fast or slow side, and it's subjective because it's about an 8-5.
Adam just scored 4, even if he had one bag off the board. Just so you know.
Did he really?
Yes.
See? But that's the thing. But he gets in not only into the hearts and minds, but in the heads of other players.
Yes. And I love how he doesn't even think about his first bag when he goes up. He just throws it in, right? And he doesn't wait for the other person to get set. He just throws it, and that's one of his game possibilities too as well. Oh, Jeremiah just did a roll shot, and now it's 4-4.
Well, but that's the thing. But these two players have played each other so many times.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I don't know. I don't think they got a chance to play together in the ACO, though.
No, they did not.
I don't think they played together in the ACO. So
they didn't play a lot together in the ACO, but at the same time, Jeremiah has nerves of steel right now. He's on a high.
He doesn't think anything can bother him. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, he's not throwing a good bad company, but
let's face it, in 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, maybe even 2020, what state outranked everybody in the cornhole community?
Massachusetts.
No. Come on. What state? Come on, be honest. Ohio.
No, it's Ohio, Kentucky.
Ohio had more
Ohio-
pros than Ohio had more pros in it than any other state.
Yeah, let's talk about wins though. It's Ohio, Kentucky for wins.
Yes, Ohio and Kentucky. Yes, you're right.
For wins, not
Wins.
just pros.
Right, not just pros, just wins. Yes.
Wins.
Yes.
Ohio wins for pros. Kentucky wins for wins.
Yes, absolutely. I got you. Yes.
Yeah. No, but I mean, honestly,
great for Ohio right here.
If you go to Wikipedia, Ohio is actually accredited with creating cornhole, but I think it started in Pennsylvania. But
I don't know Ohio State. Unless you go to Sammy's restaurant, then he said he was the original guy. So whatever. You know what I mean?
There's a couple patterns out there for cornhole. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, look at that sexy jersey right there with the.
Hey, is that Titan bags on his jersey?
It might be.
That might be. What's he throwing? Those darts? The out darts or something like that?
He's throwing some darts.
He's throwing some darts. I think Brandon's making a Average Joe's dart bag soon.
No, I've seen a lot of Average Joe's. I love that to death. Listen, honestly, Cito, I last time I was out there was 2 years ago.
Yes.
I think I was on my way to the first ever Triple Crown at Riverside that I ever broadcast.
Yeah.
That was my first ever broadcast tournament.
Wow.
And I stopped to come visit you at the what was that? Was that the VFW or Legion? Where do we
VFW Hall. Yes, I remember that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think I got paired up with a pretty good player. I think his name was Eli Stevens.
I think you got paired Eli Stevens, yes.
Yeah.
The biggest soft man in the game of cornhole.
Dude, I love that guy to death. We were killing it. We were doing great until I fell apart.
Yeah. Until you faced me and lost.
Yeah. Well, we don't talk about that.
No, you know what? As big as Eli is, that dude's got the softest throw in the game. And it's flat. It's a thing of beauty. I love his throw. You should see him throwing now, dude. He's been throwing darts, brother. Amazing. And he's still throwing Reynolds bags, but we won't talk about that.
No, here's the thing. Honestly, I still love Reynolds bags. I mean, honestly, I stalked Jeff in Canada. He ran away from me.
Hey, Doug, don't you regret getting me on here? Now you're on here for a couple hours.
No. But this is what this show was about. When we started doing this is what this was about.
So, Cito, when I talked to Doug earlier, he's like, "Yeah, we could do a half an hour."
Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, we'll do half an hour."
I think it's been a little longer than that now.
Yeah, we're at 2:13 right now.
But let's face it, like when you get Donnie that has an exquisite mind on the cornhole, and you come with Doug who is just passionate about the game, you guys have something really good going on here on Saturdays, and I love it, and I think it's great, and I will tune in more. But this is the first time I've ever been on Streamlabs, so different.
Well, no, it's just because I was using the StreamYard when you were on before.
Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know how it got different because
there's some big Adam points right there. Big Adam points. Sorry.
Oh yeah, big Adam points right here.
Oh,
another 4-pointer right there.
That was a
8-5. That's a boom. 8-5. Adam is feeling it right now, guys.
What do we got? What's the score, Cito? What do we got? I can't read that.
It's 8-5.
8-5.
Yep.
And what round are they on? Just
they are on. They're showing pro singles right now. They are round number 9 already. This game's going really fast because
Well, that's what
they're trying to keep pace with each other.
That's what Brandon just said. These are the fastest rounds ever.
Dude, both of them are just like rapid fire. They're not waiting for the other one to release the
So
bag.
now it's 8-8. Round number 10.
Yeah,
So-
but
I have to go back when we were talking about the games that are the longest. You said that there was that big, the long one between Matt Guy and Isidro Herrera. Was that not in Cherokee?
Yeah, I believe so. It was
I
200
believe, because
bags.
if I remember correctly, I was in a double elimination tournament. Their game started. I lost both my games, and I watched their game finish.
Yes. Yep.
ooh, Jeremiah off the back.
Yes. I think these boards are really playing fast, to be honest with you.
Well, they're also throwing them pretty deep right now, too. If you look, most of the bags are landing above that logo.
Yeah.
Adam just went off the back too.
Yeah, but did he kick one?
He did kick it, so he's still got 2.
Yeah.
It's 8 now.
No, but if you look, most of these bags are going deep. They're going right above the white lettering on the board.
Yep.
So they need to take a little bit off, land it a little softer for some of these.
I think their adrenaline.
Oh no, it's pumping. It's pumping
down.
right now.
They need to slow down the pace of the game.
Well, no, but even if you
Now
see,
watch.
but if you notice how Adam took a little off that bag,
Watch Adam slow the game down.
but did you notice how he took it off the bag right there?
Yep.
So he's gonna slow pump. Look at that. Dragged his bag in. Oh,
he's
kick
got
that
one
one
off
off
the right.
Ellis threw the airmail.
Yep.
Isner had 2 in his
It's
career.
okay.
Like, I'm serious. I think we need to top off his bullet.
He
Yeah.
rocked that third bag.
Yeah, he's mad at the third bag.
He had third bag syndrome right there.
Yep. And you know why he missed that third one? Because he kind of slowed it down a little bit too much.
No, but he also thought about it. Instead of just
thought
throwing the
about
bag, he tried to place it.
Yep, he did.
Good bag right there.
Had no idea that was you. There's the step out. Use of the box. He's going to try and come around the outside and just again a little bit off. Ellis continued to make a pay on the mistakes.
A lot of talking here. There it is. Yep. So we're watching the game, everybody, in this chat room right here.
What do we got? What's the score?
It is 12-8. Jeremiah's up, and he's getting the crowd. It's a media timeout.
I got
It's a media timeout.
TV timeout.
So, Donnie, other than Team Titan, what other team out there do you think has the strongest lineup? And if you went with bag companies and their lineup, and you took their top 5 players in the game that play for their bag manufacturers, right? So Team Titan, Team BG, Team Ultra, Team Reynolds, Team whatever. What are your teams that you think are the top 5 teams out there?
All right, so I have a couple different categories. So I got team.
You just wouldn't have one category.
No, I got a couple.
He's got to have 5 or 6 different categories.
I got some categories. So team streaky would be Team BG. Because if you think of the Gore boys and some of the other people that throw BG, they can literally go from 0 to hero in a moment's notice, right? And really take over a game.
I got you.
One of the most solid teams, I think, besides Team Titan would be Ultra.
Okay.
Because I think when you start talking about Ellis, you start talking about Harbaugh, you start talking about Damon Dennis.
Yes, OG.
I mean, just not even just OGs of the game, but most of the solid players that where nerves really don't get to them anymore, right? They just play the board, they play the game.
Mm-hmm.
I'd kind of put Team Reynolds with Jimmy Humans and Jeff and some of the other players.
Frazier.
Yeah, just a solid, depending on the bag they're playing, just a solid team where they're going to do the block push or the block airmail and just beat some teams up.
Okay.
And
So
I
why
think,
can't there be a bag on bag versus bag company tournament somewhere?
honestly, I think you could have a battle of the bags.
That's what I'm saying. Why can't we have that?
You could,
I think it was
but
even talked about at one point, like
It was
long ago
talked-
before
if
the
you
team,
took-
before the team
If you
stuff
took
came
team-
up.
If you
But-
took team of 6, if you took a team of 6 from each bag manufacturer, just a team of 6, nothing else. Your top 6 against everybody else's top 6. Do doubles, do singles, do team event, and you would have to have 6. All right. If you had that going on, I mean, obviously we got some strong players in some areas, right? Women and whatever. You'd have to have 2 women on each team in a top 6. What do you think first, second, and third would come out to be?
I'm not going to put them in order.
Oh, I'm not asking for order, but
But I would say it would be Ultra, Reynolds, Titan.
what Titan girls do you guys have?
We have Adam Hisner.
All right. It's
No,
15-8.
no,
Adam's down.
We've got Michelle Horde.
Yeah.
Who's an advanced player, not I don't think not a pro player.
No, but she's getting there.
She's getting there.
Yep.
And Don Rogers, who was there last year.
Yes.
I think them two.
4
And
more points. It's 19-8.
I think Adam's coming back though.
I think he just gave up.
Nope, he didn't give up. Nope.
Just gave up. Well,
He
I
doesn't
think
give up.
he gave up that last throw. Yeah.
He gave up that one throw, but I think he come back.
He can't believe that he keeps rolling these bags over his.
Here's the problem right now. For the last month and a half,
Yeah.
nobody has been able to like beat Ellis. He's just on another level right now.
This is it. This could be game right here. Unfortunately.
He is 1 bag away from winning another singles national championship on the way.
Oh, Adam suckered him into that. Nice bag.
Oh,
There he is. Now Adam's pissed. Now he's going to start throwing harder.
is
Now.
that a George
Watch.
Washington?
Now Adam's pissed. Now he's going to throw a little harder.
Now it's time to go to Boomtown. Time to go to Boomtown.
Yep. That is such a nice throw right there.
Mhm.
I can't believe he can do those things, man.
Well, it's like Michael Hoffman said in the chat earlier that basically, like Adam invented that cut shot.
Well, yeah, but Adam also invented the backspin too on a bag.
Yeah, that reverse spin, backside
That
airmail.
first bit that he has, which is amazing. Woo!
Big bag there.
Woo! You got stick there. Yep. This is amazing.
This is classic
Trying
Hisner
to
right
belly,
here.
he was trying to belly that airmail there. Almost bounced off.
Try to backpack it.
Yep. Yes, he did. Look at that. That's a backspin, but it went the other way. Big breath. Uh-oh. Let's see this incredible shot.
Big push right here. Big push.
Oh,
Oh, went
Oh, and
for the
that's
big
it.
push. Just missed it.
hey, so technically, can a rookie win MVP?
Yes.
So he could have 2 titles for his name?
He could win 2
You could,
titles.
yep.
Rookie of the year, MVP?
Yep.
And I still think Adams should still get comeback player of the year. What do you think?
Yes. Adam should be in the running for comeback.
I can't comment as I do have a vote at the end of the year, so I cannot comment on that.
I get a vote every once in a while.
What do you think there, Donnie?
I think Adam should be comeback player of the year.
I think you should be right there.
Listen, here's the thing. He's had
He's
an
been in the top 5 in every single category all year. All year, top 5.
Yep.
With Trey, it's doubles and singles. I mean, I think he's playing the best I've ever seen him play in 5 years.
The thing with it is, if Ellis finishes below 5th in the next pro,
Yeah,
and Adam finishes in the top 2 again, it should put him back up in the running
yeah.
for MVP.
Isn't he 4th? Isn't he 4th in the lineup right now?
Yeah, but I think it's going to shoot him back up again. And I think even tonight they played very well. I mean, Ellis is just on a heater. I mean,
Absolutely.
someone has to cool him off. And right tonight, it just wasn't Adam's turn to do that.
Is he on a better heater than Mark Richards, man of the year?
Yes,
I think so. Yep.
So then technically, Ellis could be rookie of the year, MVP, and man of the year, all 3.
So when nothing against Mark,
right?
But Ellis has to do it in a more compressed season.
Yeah,
What
true.
Compressed season.
So if you remember when Mark did it, it started in October, ended in August because the season was stretched out.
Yes.
So for Ellis, literally had to start it in like January, February, and finish in August.
Right. Okay.
And technically pro really didn't start till what, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it was.
Right. Yep. I just think it makes the voting people. It's going to be crazy for the voting people this year.
Oh, it is.
The thing with it is, though, I think if you really look at Adam right now,
yes,
he needs to be in the running for it because he's been right there the entire time.
I mean, even in doubles. I mean, let's face it, this is the first doubles tournament that Ellis and Hart have done that people actually got to see them shine. All right. Trey and Adam have been doing it all season.
They've been right there.
Yeah,
They've been on
right
the entire time.
Was Trey there this weekend?
Yes, they were in doubles. I think they just lost they lost the king seat and then fell down, I think, for their bracket for doubles.
Yeah, I think they came in 3rd or 4th or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah. But they've been right there the entire season for doubles. So I think this season was the best for Adam because with him playing with Trey, it gave him a big spark this year.
Absolutely. And I think Trey made the right choice. Let's see if Adam's tenure of cornhole can help tutor and teach Trey consistency and that your partner is going to pick you up and you don't have to worry about scoring.
I think it's already showing miles.
You know what I mean?
I seen it firsthand when they were both in Niagara.
Yeah, I think that's going to speak volumes because now Trey has a teacher and a guy that can help him get off that, proverbial low season that he had, right?
Well, it's the hump, right?
Right. It's the hump, right?
Listen, him and Cody were at the top for so long
Mhm.
Yeah.
until the game changed.
What did Mike Hoffman say? I'm sorry, I didn't.
No,
I
he
didn't-
said
His
Hisner was
Hisner was
34th.
34th in singles last year, so it'd be
But-
hard to be a comeback player. But
No.
although it was a quiet 34, like we really didn't see much out of him.
But here's the thing: if you think of comeback player of the year, you're not just voting on singles.
you're
You're
playing.
looking at what they've done as a whole the entire season. So when I was voting a couple years ago, I was looking at a whole, right? I was looking at how do they pick their player up? How do they shoot in singles?
Yes.
They do in what did they do for the game at the same time? And listen, 34 last year, yeah, it's great, but I think this year he's made more of an impact in the game.
So 34. If he's 34 ranked now and he finishes in the top 5, I think that's a big, huge jump. Don't you think?
Listen, if he goes in the top 15, I think it's a huge jump because of what he's done
No.
to move the game forward and his partner, like Trey. Trey's not a slouch, don't get me wrong, but
No.
I think he's really helped the two of them be better
Mhm.
by partnering up.
I think
Mhm.
so.
I think it's the strongest partnership of the year. I'm just going to say that. I think they have the biggest upside
Yeah, I think so.
because if the two of them light up at the same time, I've got Jordan Rubin vibe.
Jordan Rubin vibe.
Yeah. I think they can come back and win a world championship. I think if they both light up at the same time.
I think you're correct.
And
Mhm.
and if you look at it last year, in the year before, Jordan and Jay didn't really light up until late
end.
June,
Yeah.
July, August.
It was the last 3. It was the last 3 tournaments that they lit up the show.
They lit up. They just clicked, and it was fireworks.
Right. So do you think they only need one national to win doubles to get to that status? Or do you think they need to win 2?
I think they need a second and a first.
Okay.
Just
at least, yeah.
I think they need the second just for confidence.
Is there another doubles team out there that you think could technically take 3 of the nationals?
I
Or do you
think
Bats and goodness leave.
think or do you think we're going to have a different first place doubles in every national?
I believe every national is going to be different because the team I was looking forward to the most this year has not delivered yet.
Frank, let me say Malone and Devin Harbaugh. No. Tony Smith and Mark Richards.
Maybe.
Well,
No,
I think
do you
everyone
think-
thought more of
I
them
think
because
that
they
was
were the two.
I think that was a mistake. I don't think that
No.
pairing should have ever happened.
Here's
My
the thing.
opinion.
No, I love the matchup. I think the matchup is amazing. I just think they have not found their forever bag.
Well, that could be because they jumped ship on bag manufacturing, didn't they?
No, one did, one didn't. But
Right.
like Tony was a big pro A guy, right?
Yes.
Mark was a big fast bag.
Right.
We need to find a bag in the middle for the two of them, right? I think it needs to be like a 7-5.
I think Tony Smith needs a slower. I think it needs to be a 5-6 and an 8-9.
No, I think a 7-5 Tony, based on the boards, can figure it out because he has a high shot, he has a low shot. I think he can figure it out. Mark, I think little more versatile with the bag, where his bag comes kind of medium,
Yes.
where I think Tony, based on board conditions, might struggle a little more.
Okay. I can see that, but I still don't like. I don't know. For some reason, I don't get the pairing, and I don't know why it happened. So
Well,
to me, I understand Mark wanted to move from what was his name?
Lopez.
I know that. I know he wanted to move from that. But if you look at Mark Richards and Tony Smith, they don't look like they're gelling very well.
Well,
They might be two of the best players in cornhole, but I don't think they have that je ne sais quoi.
Yep.
Well,
and I've said that for doubles teams for so long that
Sorry, Don.
I'm not big on the super teams.
Well,
and even after it was all said and done, Jamie Graham even said him and Matt didn't gel either.
Well,
right? You need to have that chemistry in your partner, that trust in your partner.
Wait a minute. I don't think it's trust. I don't think it's chemistry. It's communication.
It's what?
But that communication comes with your trust and chemistry.
No. You can still talk to each other. No. Here's the biggest problem with
Donnie's right. Donnie's communication.
With Matt and Jamie, they never talk to each other between shots. Mm-hmm. They did not. Like, it was like, meh, 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 meh. Like, and here's the thing. Two of the greatest players in the game, don't get me wrong. They're both close to the Mount friggin' Bagmore, or whatever you call it, right? But didn't tell each other what to do because they both had their damn headphones in.
But here you go, Donnie. Like, okay, so let's take them. But is the grass greener on the other side with Frank Modlin? No,
it's not.
Because they haven't won nothing. They haven't done anything.
Well, but here's the thing. Jamie and Frank?
They're close, but they didn't do anything.
No, but they talk less.
Yeah, they do talk less.
I didn't think it was possible to talk less, but they do.
But that okay? But now, is that because they've had that relationship for a long time, and there's that chemistry that they believe in each other?
No, but here's the thing. Okay, Jamie Graham started getting frustrated with Frank Modlin on ESPN playing that game the other night. He was getting frustrated because Jamie Graham was winning the game for them. Then Frank wasn't hitting his spots. They didn't talk, but one time, I think, during that. Right? And then Jamie Graham fell apart at the end.
Well, but here's the thing.
So much pressure. There was so much pressure for him to win that game because he wanted to win that game because he, quite frankly, was throwing an 11 almost.
But there's talking and there's not talking, okay?
Right.
Like, there's a lot of times when I'm throwing hand signals to my partner, just go for it, shoot it, cut it, right? But you don't even see that a lot, right? If you're sitting in the background and you don't see the ESPN cameras, you don't see all that stuff. And it's nothing against some of these top pros, but when you put some of these super teams together, and I had a problem with it when Brett and Matt first broke up.
Right.
Because that was one of the most electrifying teams in cornhole.
Yes, it was.
Yep.
And I thought they should have never separated because that's a team that doesn't have to talk to each other.
No.
Because they played so much together that they knew what the other person should do or they wanted the other person to do. But at the same time, Matt also told Brett what to shoot more than Brett told Matt to shoot, right? Because it was the whole dynamic. But, like, I just think some of these big teams, first and foremost, communication is second, bag choice is first. Because when you put some of these big teams together, the bags just don't fit.
Right.
They just don't fit because you start, and especially where we've expanded, carpet and everything else now.
Okay, but come on, like really, an all slide is almost just like a game changer. There's really no there's really no difference on the feel of it except for
Who throws those bags anymore?
Frank Milan still throws Game Changers.
Yeah, because he made them.
Right. But what I'm saying is, it's the old saying. If you're a pro, you should be able to pick up any bag and throw it with consistency. It doesn't matter what bag you get. Now, yes, fabric's a different story, and are you throwing a stickier bag or a faster bag? I get that. But nowadays, the top 10 bag manufacturers almost have the exact same bag, just called differently.
Well, but
So there's a bag for everybody in every bag manufacturer's statement.
But Cito,
yeah,
when you play on a sideboard based on a main stage,
yes,
board conditions can be different.
Board, yeah, but bag conditions, and you practice. We have a chance when you're throwing down and back. If you think it changes, you can grab a new bag or grab your other set of bags that you're comfortable with and throw those.
What's the percentage there? What's the percentage you're changing bags?
I know. I get
less than 1%.
Right. But if you're doing a down and back and you feel you're a pro player, you're talking to your pro guy, hey, I think these might be a little better because they're less tacky. They have a chance to change that. So you can't say, oh, wait, God forbid, we have a fast side and a slow side now. Oh, we can change the height and throw it a little deeper on the hole for a slide, or throw it a little lower for the slide because it's too, but our sticky side ain't working. Or if you were throwing a Jeff Reynolds, when it got tacky, the sticky side became fast and the fast side became slow. So you just changed the sides. So going into the game, you have an idea what you want to throw, no matter what. Power teams are good if they still have communication.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but at the same time, it becomes mental at the same time.
It's what?
It becomes mental.
It does. But when you play, say you play with a Matt guy, are you playing uptight or are you playing loose because Matt guy is going to help you out?
Oh, I'm throwing fucking airmails all day.
I'm playing uptight because I don't want to mess up because I know he's going to get pissed off.
But in most cases, the lower seed player is going to play better because he's more comfortable, he's loose, he's got no worries, because if that guy if he messes up and gives up a 2, he knows Matt guy on the other side is either going to get a wash or he's going to score the 2 back or maybe even score 4. So there's comfortability with that.
Listen,
so if you go ahead.
If I'm playing with Matt guy, I know I only have to throw a 6.
Technically,
I throw a 6 because if he's on, I'm throwing a 6 and we're going to win.
In this game, if you throw an 8-5 and your partner throws an 8-5, 9 times out of 10, you win that tournament. Statistically, if you throw an 8-5 and your partner throws an 8-5, you can win the tournament. Isn't that crazy?
Listen, here's the thing. Last year when I went to Bag and Bash,
yeah,
I threw a 6.19. Greba threw a 6.2. No big deal. But one of the guys that here thinks he's better than me threw a 6.15. I threw better.
Who's that?
This guy, Willie. You don't know him, but he's not that good.
Okay. All right, I got you.
I'm thinking if you're saying that, if you're throwing with Matt and you only have to throw a 6, that's why I'm playing uptight, because I'm only a 5-5. So I've got to throw at least half a point.
Don't. You just throw.
Just throw your bag.
I guarantee you throw with a Matt guy, I guarantee you your PPR is going to be the highest PPR that you've ever thrown.
Doug, if you got Matt guy as a partner, you throw like a 6-year-old in a Batman t-shirt.
I'm serious. I'm not joking.
Just throw that back, because guess what? He's going to pick you up.
If I know for a fact that I don't have to worry about scoring a 6 or a 4 to help my partner because he's struggling, that makes it harder on me. If I know on the other side my partner's throwing a 9 or a 10, I'm comfortable, dude. All I have to do is throw an 8-5. That's it.
Here's the thing. If I get a Matt guy on the other side, all I know is I just have to win my side.
That's it.
Just win. Just win my side. Either 0 or only give up 1 or 2 points.
1 or 2 points. That's it. You know damn well it's gonna happen. So like that's what I'm saying. Like it's so crazy to me. Like, okay, here's an example. My best tournament that I've ever thrown. I lost both games, but I was throwing against Trey Birchfield, and this is when we had the 12-round games. We had 12 rounders, and then we played rounders or whatever, but we only had limited or whatever it was, right? I was leading against Trey Birchfield, and I threw a 1050 or something like that. One round, I lost. It was the last round. He threw a 1056. I threw a 1050. Man, next game, I threw a 1015. Matthew Morton threw a 1020. Lost that one. I go to the stack bracket. Didn't lose a game. Did not throw higher than an 825. And I won every single game.
Mm-hmm.
I even threw a 6 and won 21-0. Right?
Yep.
So this 10-5 PPR, whatever, I don't care about PPR. Just give me the wins.
Yep.
Give me. If I would have won those 2 games, shit, who knows what would have happened? You know what I mean? But you get confidence as you win. You get confidence as you throw good. If I'm throwing a 1050 and I'm throwing good and I lose, that doesn't mean anything. If I throw an 8.5 and I win every single game, I'm good with that. That's the problem with PPR and all that shit. I wish it never even came to the game. It changed the sport completely. And
Well,
I know
I get
betting scores and stuff, but I think it changed everything across the board. Don't you think?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Totally.
And I think
Now
as we get on
PPR, everybody's worried about their PPR. Oh my God, I got to throw a 9 to be a pro. No, you don't.
No,
you
just
don't.
win a game. Win games.
If your winning percentage is higher than your losing percentage, then you're doing something good for the game.
For sure.
You're growing the game. You're growing yourself as a player. You're doing good. Now, if it's the other way around, then you need to reevaluate what's going on in your cornhole career.
And I did, and now I commentate. So
that's why I'm retiring.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it's getting on 12:30. Some of us have to work in about 4 hours, but I think PPR is a perfect thing for the next time you come on. You need to come back on. We need to continue this year because, like Donnie said, I only felt like a half an hour show tonight, and we're now like almost 3, which again
it's God's fault.
It's what I want this show to be is being able to do this here and talk, because there's a guy who makes fun of the name of the show that does a Sunday night and a Monday night hangout. Will remain nameless, but he also is part of the Tickle Trunk. But anyway,
I don't know who it is, but okay.
Yeah. My cousin that does a music show on Sunday does the Sunday night hangout and the Monday night hangout. He's complaining about how original my name is, but whatever, who cares?
Hey,
but,
something real quick.
Sure.
Brandon Gerba, I love you. I like Titan Bags. JC Cornhole, Doug Count. You guys are amazing. You guys are wonderful, and I love you. One day I'm coming to Canada. I'll be in a tournament soon. Just know that I'll be there, and I'm going to be playing with Donnie in your tournament in Canada, and we're going to wipe the floor, buddy. Even
that's on, and I think the other thing we see is that Donnie owes Brandon $100 for his charity because he was under 52 rounds.
Oh yes, it was under 52 rounds, and I got Brandon Gerba a box.
Yeah, and Greenby gets the box. Gets a box for wrapping off, which I think is some of the best stuff that you do, Cito. We need to see you back doing some more of that stuff. I always love being able to watch your live shows. Once you start doing the Cito Corner, we'll both come back on and we'll go on your show to talk with you over on that side and have some fun.
All right.
But, thank you. Because this was literally like I messaged you like 5 minutes before we were doing the show.
Yes.
And So thank you for doing that there. And Donnie, as always, you can take us out because that's what you do.
All
Wait.
right, friends. Listen, I just lost a hundo to Brandon Greba, and I guess $100 is up for grabs.
And don't forget,
See
Friends.
you next week because
We love-
this is a long weekend here. We'll be back for the Memorial Day show next Saturday night. I guess the pre Memorial Day.
I'll be
guess.
in Memorial Day down in.
Actually, yeah, you'll be in. Maybe we'll go live from Bag and Bash.
Maybe we will.
Maybe you'll be too banged up to do anything.